let's see. We started. Oh, that's right. We were finishing off dealing with Bruce last time.
Yeah.
We fly in
through the street.
We stopped him. We walked through the street. We got back to Bruce's house.
Oh no.
You have a tracking game.
So yeah, we dealt with Bruce. We brought him back to his house. He showed us where. He showed us where the den was.
One of the catacombs next to the church.
Right. He was unconscious for a while. You guys were there with him. You fixed his butthole or something.
No, we didn't. Because it didn't seal over.
Oh,
That's
sorry.
not how buttholes work.
Sorry, Patrick. Fixed his butthole. I ran to the beacon to talk to Alana. Yeah, and I got a necklace thing that had a enchantment on it, which gave me a plus to some saves, but mainly they could track it. So they would know where we were if something went bad. We did that. Went down. We killed some vile hounds.
Yep.
Come on.
Yeah, we killed vile hounds.
Yep.
Which
They're
was
like, oh,
fun.
but acid.
With acid, which came in handy when Todd used the head of one of them to melt hinges on a door, and then totally gave us away as we all had lights that were still just burning, and everybody saw us. And then
There was a gap under the door because there's a gap under every door. So
Right.
that's how doors work.
didn't the door handle thing fall out,
No.
or did it get caught? Did we catch that?
We got caught. It was just you could see all the lights and moving stuff under the door.
Right.
'Cause
So-
it was an otherwise dark hallway.
We got into the room. We met up with Bruce was there.
Krieger has something to take care of that.
Another guy, a halfling guy who had 2 dogs at his side,
Yeah.
and then we had a full and proper wolfman, werewolf guy named Yamudian,
That's true.
who is the leader of all the things,
Good girl, Sharon.
and he is the one who's been basically propagating, turning people in the city in a way of increasing his numbers / strengthening the town to help do all that. We also found out that Yamudian is not liked by the other were people that we found in the Moonglade outside Silverton.
We also did a shit ton of talking when we should have been fighting.
Right.
There is that.
I
Some say
angered the Todd and the Krieger by not letting them literally swing at anything the whole time. And now we are in amongst the idea of going and talking to the people at the beacon to potentially partner up with the
From the beacon.
with Yamudian.
not at the beacon.
Well, right, from the beacon. What is the? Do they have like a
Name?
name?
Around down, they're just called the Order.
The order. Okay.
Or-
Yeah. So we're gonna go to
In
the
far off lands, probably the Order of the Beacon.
right. The
But
order.
here,
of the
just
beacon.
the Order.
So yeah, we're gonna go talk to the order, see if potentially they would be wanting to do something like that in a realm of getting with them, team up, and if not, and they want to just snuff them out, we'll also have information on where they can find allies who also really fucking hate this guy. So
Yeah, it depends on how you want to play that.
right.
So, we pick up
Alright.
as the party is blasted by sunlight as they leave.
Blasted by sunlight.
Blinded by the light.
You're still a dick for that. Yeah, Patrick, at the end of the game last time, he goes, you guys come out and you are blasted by sunlight.
As you leave.
As you leave, so-
the catacombs.
Why?
Right? It was totally
You
set up.
Pitch dark, right?
Yeah, it was totally set up. Like we were going to get attacked because he's a dick.
You're welcome.
Right? It was good.
So,
You are now blind forever.
your eyes adjust and you will once again find yourself in the garden outside the crypt of Erastil. Erastil again being the god of hunting and agriculture, farming, that kind of stuff. Heavily into the nature god type of thing. So,
Alright, so should we just head to the beacon? Is there anything you guys want to do beforehand?
What time of day is it then?
middle of the afternoon, probably like 3-ish, 4-ish.
Okay.
Is everybody else okay with what happened down there? Or
Todd is pissed off.
Todd is
Todd
angry.
is absolutely pissed. Well,
So
snakes base. I actually don't know what
I'm
Todd
sorry, Krieger. I wanted you to hit things.
I wanted to hit things.
I wanted you to hit things.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm just saying.
So is Todd like actually like a good guy now, or is he like still kind of like on the fence about him, or?
No, he's a good guy. I mean, Meard isn't really on the fence with him anymore. Todd.
It's more of a toad.
Dude.
Because it's TOD. It's German, actually. No, it seriously is.
Toad.
It's German.
Oh,
Nice.
So it's more of a toad.
Well, I've been spelling it TODD,
You're
so.
wrong. On the character sheet's Todd. It's TOD.
Well, didn't get to see the character sheet,
Right, I understand.
so
It's a very easy mistake.
I'll blame Nick.
That's the appropriate person to blame. He didn't share his spelling of mistake. We should kick him out of the group.
You get out! You can't come here anymore.
Get your silent D's out of here.
Yeah, right. Krieger, I promise the next time. The next time we find anybody, here's the thing: we might still get a chance to fight him. We can still hit things. Also, you did credit card Bruce. Like that was kind of like a lot. So
I was trying to intimidate him.
it worked.
It was.
Really well.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Good job. All right. How are you about what just happened?
Personally, I think peace is always the best option.
Perfect.
He was.
Oh, he wasn't.
He totally was. He was scared, but then he got brave after
Yeah.
he dispelled it.
After I got rid of the.
Right, he was doing half the talking.
Yes.
Okay, my fault.
Nope, you're good.
Remembering wrong.
No, it's
Also,
okay. He was gone for a period of time.
I really didn't want to fight down there, seeing as most of what I do is fire, and I would have been burned a lot.
And
You guys didn't know that until just now, but it's important to know.
and even still, just from legend, you know that fighting a dragon in its lair is generally not the best case scenario.
Yeah.
You don't fight a werewolf in its den.
Yeah. It's bad. We need common ground. Open, so
It's like
we
there's
have
a
the
song
advantage.
about it or something. Treading on some dude's cape or some shit.
Nice. Very nice.
Shitting into the wind.
Oh, fuck. Alright,
Depends on
so,
what day of the week it is. I
Yeah.
can go several ways.
Come
here, Charlie. Come
So-
here.
and Todd,
Lovitz,
I'm assuming
come
Todd
get
walked
Lovitz.
off.
Todd's like,
Come on.
I just had a really good idea. I have to go to a weapons store. I'll be right back.
Okay. We'll meet you at the beacon.
Okay. And he wanders off.
Well,
2-hour shopping montage. Let's
Right.
go.
this is the shopping episode.
Again.
Again.
That's the song from Clue, this place.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
This is what really happened.
This is what we
I know.
I feel bad for children.
Fine. She'll figure it out.
They're dogs.
Eleven's doing well. Charlie's just trying to figure out. It's like new thing at my house. It's big,
Don't feel bad for dogs.
Charlie's
They're
bigger.
dogs.
but she is still a fairly decent sized dog.
11's black. That's what it
11 is 11 is wide.
Oh, yeah, she doesn't like the darker browns, you know what I mean?
But
Mm.
even with cats, she's like, what the hell is this? What's going on? So
Right,
figure it out.
racist dog. Oh, yeah, I'm recording all this too, so, you know,
Whatever.
it's admissible.
It's,
Juice!
it's admissible.
I thought you drank them all already.
So, at your disposal, the three of you have your equipment is on you. A diamond worth 10,000 gold pieces, just burning a hole in your pockets.
Well, Todd had that.
I thought you gave it to you.
No, he still has it.
Todd's spending his money at the store.
Right? I need these 4 things. That's like 2 silver. Here's a diamond. Bye.
Here's a big rock of glass.
Shit.
So,
Sorry, I can't
Let's see.
very well.
I'm just going to kind of. Oh no, you guys need to have a conversation on what to do with this diamond. So we'll hold off on that. What would you guys like to do? You're going to Beacon, you said? You make your way over to the giant lighthouse in the middle of the town. As usual, it stands tall and firm.
Strong and hard.
Oh, that's how we hurt.
How much weight you lose?
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Nick's favorite band, 10 Pound Brown.
Nice.
Real band from Chico. That was a reference to fish, not poop. They were no longer a band because no one knew it was a reference to fish and not poop.
Was it a reference to poop, but it was just in the form of what was fish?
No, it was apparently some 10-pound brown is like there's a brown trout thing. But when you hear 10-pound brown, you think poop.
Poop.
Did we start?
Adams, Brown IT.
You have wandered off with the 10,000 gold piece diamond.
We
That you
just
may or may not be convinced is
Let's
a 2 gold piece.
15 minutes. Is that one done?
Let's just go for it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, just put it in for 15.
I'm ready to return.
You went off shopping.
Yeah.
So he wandered off shopping, and as you guys head over to the beacon, Todd comes back. He's like, "Shit, I forgot something. Hold on. Never mind.
I bought it.
Oh, I bought a thing. What are you carrying? Do you still have the diamond? Is the important question.
Yeah, I still have the diamond.
Okay.
I still have the diamond.
No.
I
Could
traded.
have gone your way.
I traded it for some land.
Some land.
Guys,
I own every alleyway on that one street. I want to put so many food trucks in there.
bless you. Masterwork Riftbreaker.
Okay. You have a big ass hammer now.
Yeah.
Big ass hammer.
You have 2 hammer dudes?
Hammer Brothers.
Is it hammer time?
Potentially. And when it is time to hammer, we will do hammer.
Whenever it is time to fight, I'm going to yell hammer time.
Noted.
Can we also declare that it's hammer time?
Anyway, so all of you are, well, actually, has Todd been to the beacon yet?
Yes. I went with Weird.
Right.
We went as a group.
Right.
I was
So-
right.
So, the four of you go to the beacon. One of you languishes in the underworld and is wandering, as far as we know, to Lay.
That's right, Patrick looks like, or, not Patrick.
Bendig?
Finnick.
Finnick.
Finnick left, what, like 2 days ago now?
Yes.
3 days ago?
It's been 2 days.
2 days.
I tried to give you like a good couple of months to get 2 weeks to pass. It's been 2 days.
I wouldn't expect anything less, so I would have been disappointed if it actually was 2 weeks of the game.
Right.
Good call. There we go.
You weren't fucking around enough.
So yeah, okay.
Do you walk straight in, or are you looking for the page, or are you looking to have another meeting with Lana?
Looking for the page.
Okay.
Or did Todd show up?
Yes, he
Okay.
joins
So
me.
we're all here. Okay. So yep, walk right in.
Okay.
Go to the page.
Bought you that.
Oh, yay. Nice. Thank you.
Now Junior just sitting out front again. It's another
Okay.
Riftbreaker.
Again, the guards are just like
Masterwork. Giving you another +1 to hit.
staring, almost as though it's like this is. I don't know if this is a toy stick of dynamite or a real stick of dynamite, and at this point, I'm too afraid to ask. So I'm just gonna stand here and stare awkwardly at it, and let's just hope it doesn't go off on me.
Perfect.
Meanwhile, the cat is asking me a question with its back leg and it's licking the crap out of itself. So yeah, the page is there, and you're back again.
Hi.
Hello.
Lana. I need Lana again.
Well, come on.
Okay.
It's just easier. I don't want to make 2 trips.
Perfect.
And again, you just montage your way up the menu levels of the beacon.
Krieger stops to get tea.
Figure stop to get tea.
House 1.
It's a good thing because your legs are burning, and after the tea, they stop. You get kind of a fizzy, bubbly sensation where it's not quite as bad as when you're so exhausted your legs get all noodly, but it's got like a kind of a cool effervescence that kind of flows through them and kind of reinvigorates for the travel up the second half of the staircases that go up. No one may be Mirror. Mirror might be inclined to introduce to the order to some gnomes to invent an elevator.
Or an escalator.
Or an escalator.
Nah.
But
But I might be interested in getting Hound some work to do that. He can engineer the shit out of that.
there you go.
He has more skill ranks.
So, you guys are all brought up, and you're brought up to the level that you are used to seeing Lana at with her personal library. You see Sterling's office is closed off, and Lana's office door is also closed. There are offices up here, just haven't mentioned them before. And
Bang on the door. Ah!
the page just does a couple of quick knocks and scoots in, and like puts his head in, and then she'll be with you in just a minute. And he slides down the banister. Terminal, no! But yeah,
I can't write.
after a few minutes, Lana comes out of her office. You can perception checks, please.
Oh, nice.
10. So much easier when I can remember my
26.
skill modifiers.
Noted.
15.
Hold on. Wasn't prepared yet.
That's okay.
Everything's changed. I like to think of it that Hound and Krieger just went through puberty.
Where did this hair come from?
Ah!
There's now 7 pounds.
Yeah.
It's now with 7 pounds of cock.
Oh god, can you imagine pushing 6 pounds of rope?
19.
19. Okay. So,
How would you find pants?
Beard, as a wizard is wont to do, finds himself just kind of running a finger over several books, just kind of browsing, see what's there, see if there's anything that piques his interest.
Do I find anything cool?
You find one thing that piques your interest is it looks like a book on the history or folklore of the Emerald Ruin. Do you remember what that is in this world, Joe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, where the dragon.
Yeah, that whole area was the dragon. So yeah, it's a cataloging of the history of the Emerald Ruin. The other three of you, as Lana opens the door and leaves, notice a person sitting in a chair facing away from you guys. Looks like wearing a very heavy black leather coat with a hood up.
It's Hound! No, it's Neo!
Neo.
No, wait, it's Hound! It's Hound Neo!
Noun?
Hound.
Toddly badly back.
I believe he just had a seizure. A stroke.
It's called the stroke.
All I can see is numbers. We're just sheets of paper.
What does 7 smell like?
Purple. So yeah, the door closes.
It's like purple.
It tastes like burning.
Tastes like bird.
But yeah, Lana comes out. Well, you're back. I take it your mission was either a success or completely unfounded.
We didn't kill him.
It's good news,
Yeah.
isn't it? Is it?
We didn't kill him.
We didn't.
I was under the impression you guys were watching.
I wasn't watching. We have other people watching.
We hit people.
The nice thing about being in my position is I can delegate.
You didn't get a report.
Not yet.
You don't become a
She has the
three-letter.
best people.
I've been in meetings.
You don't become a three-letter acronym without people.
So, we spoke to a gentleman named Yamudian. He is actually a pure werewolf who has been the one behind all the biting, basically.
I see.
His stand is that he's trying to strengthen Beacon. Or Lamplight. He's trying to strengthen the city by turning these people. It's loose
Charlie.
of an argument at best. But as we spoke to him, he doesn't seem to be frantic or fanatical about trying to turn everybody or ruin anything. He seems genuinely interested in trying to protect the city.
He's enthusiastic, not rabid.
Right. I think he may be going about it the wrong way.
The look on her face is kind of a mix of
Horny, confused,
Right, horny.
loaded.
Horny. All I heard was horny, horny, horny.
it's utter confusion and not indignation, but she looks a little offended almost. But not like
Charlie,
more like
go to
a.
jail.
I want to be really mad about this, but I'm not.
He says he's willing to
Sure.
negotiate peace, and
Come
if
on.
you are
Charlie,
willing to do that, he'd be happy to meet you in a neutral location.
Well, and there's some things to that. What I had proposed potentially was basically a partnership between the two. He wants to create lycanthropes. The lycanthropes are powerful. My thought was if it was people who were wanting to do that, that was fine. Him turning people just randomly is kind of what's messed up. But that's kind of more your guys' jurisdiction on what you would allow or partner with, and then
Now, explain this to me a bit further. You are okay with them turning people into lycanthropes who will periodically rampage through town, slaughtering whoever they gets in their way.
no.
It sounds like that's sort of a beginning step, and that was one of the things we talked about is trying to figure out how to contain.
So the rampage only happens in the beginning, but it's a necessary step for when people turn. The idea was to set up some kind of preserve somewhere, not that there's a lot around, that we could keep wild game in, so that when people do get turned who choose, they can be put in there, they can get through the bloodlust part, and then they come out normal. But
Sorry, Patrick, my dog is being fucking weird.
She's trying to eat
Okay, Charlie, I miss you too.
Oh, did you? That's what she's singing. She's singing the blues.
so that was kind of the idea. But on the other hand, they've killed people and they're turning people. So I mean, those are crimes. I mostly this was purely just a find out where they are, what their motives are, and then bring it back to you. We have set up a way for us to communicate with them to set up a meeting if you'd like. I also know a potential ally for you guys if you rather just get them out of the city. Jesus.
Sirens game when you have Charlie.
Todd, can you please do something with that dog you found?
I ain't nothing but a
Hound
hound
dog.
dog.
Yes.
Charlie, hush. Put her upstairs in a minute, probably.
So again, this wasn't necessarily they're off the hook. This was more of a get information and get it to you guys.
I appreciate that.
We also know where the den is.
Well, it's
That's-
probably gonna move.
Yeah, that's gonna move probably pretty quickly. They were in a
And we know how to track them.
they were in a basically a crypt under the Church of Erastil. But it also had a bunch of enchantments on it, which made it hard in any kind of fighting thing. So realistically, knowing where the den was probably wasn't going to be our best bet anyway. There's not much fighting that can be done in there.
I'm grateful that you were discreet enough to not end up meeting your own demise.
Well, as much as I can avoid it.
So, this is lots of process.
Mm-hmm.
But he.
Oh yeah, I have this.
She looks at it with a.
I just love the idea that Todd's been walking through the city with just this vile hound head. Yeah, just dripping, burning holes through the.
All the way up the stairs.
Hi, I'm here to buy a thing.
Somebody slips on it.
I have to remember that we're recording things now, so I can't just go. It's like, that means nothing to anybody who's listening.
So are we actually recording this?
Well, I'm recording this as a test to see
Yeah,
how well it
to
works.
see if it works.
Six cunts. Nazis.
Yeah.
Dick cunt Nazis. Okay, carry on.
Anywho, so anyway, it's Wednesday.
Vagina.
Wednesday. Oh God.
For weeks we've been doing this.
It's not a huge deal either, man. I can edit all of it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So.
Rend her in twain.
So
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
My dad's
Oh, God's sake.
It's not really shit on my hand.
so
Don't do that, stupid. It hurts.
Right?
Joe, you're a wizard. Don't melee.
No, I'm not a wizard. I play a wizard.
Joe's a traffic paladin.
I'm gonna tell that to Ken. Oh shit.
He's lawful manual.
So thank you for bringing us back to the scene. Lana looks at this acid dripping hound mangled head, and just there's
It should stop bleeding soon.
a flash of curiosity. You'd think it would. It would have stopped bleeding by now if it were a normal dog head. But this is weird.
I gave it double the blood because
Sure.
it's acid and more viscous.
Sure. But yeah,
Thanks to simple gravity.
she gives it a look that's like a flash of curiosity and then pure just distaste,
Yeah,
as
don't
you'd
taste
as you'd expect.
it. Don't taste it. Sorry, I took your expression as a pun. As if you could send it out
I
loud.
see.
What's strange is this
This is how you play low
being
charisma.
changed from person looking being to a dog form. But when we killed it, it remained dog form.
Which means it's not a lichen from
Right.
It's a stropin like.
I don't think that's a thing.
It is.
Todd.
Have you ever heard of an assware?
No, I've heard of Jackalware. It is. That's odd. Would you mind dropping that off with Sten two floors down on your way out? Unless you're intending on keeping it as a trophy. Well, then by all means.
I get it to stop bleeding.
Todd.
Shaking it.
Kate stops shaking into the library, and she quickly runs over to the stacks and tries to shield them with her body.
It's not.
I do the same thing, by the way. Like, it's flying towards books, and I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Not the
Well,
fuck.
if you're not going to drop it off with Sten downstairs, please just take it with you, but stop shaking it. Maybe see if we can contain it somehow.
Yeah,
Todd.
can you do that?
Don't shake it in
know.
public.
If you shake it more than twice, you're just playing with it. I heard that.
What's the refractory period on that one?
3 hours.
It's an old dog.
Try that Todd's new trick. Look.
It's great.
So, on point.
Yes. That's a lot to process. What are your plans?
Our plans are basically to follow your lead. If you'd like us to stick around and help, I don't see us. I mean, we're much in that realm. We can also just kind of give you the information. You guys are the order. You run the city. So if you guys want to take it upon yourself,
We don't run the city.
well, protect the city.
Yes. It's an important clarification.
I have a question.
We run this city. Wait,
That's not how that sounds.
that's not how that
I
goes.
have a question. I don't know you very well. We've met twice now. Haven't really talked. You don't like it when I take my dog.
That's true. Wait, puppy syndrome is a real thing.
Is this the actual dog or the deadhead dog? He's just
They're
walking around.
They're fighting!
He's walking around with a bulldog by the nape of the neck and the head of a dead one. He's like, ah,
Yeah.
burning the other dog. No, kiss.
Do you happen to know where one such as myself might acquire, I don't know, a legendary sword? That could.
Off the top of my head, no, I'm sorry. It's if
Well, I'm still with you guys.
if a
You can
sword
always buy loot boxes.
That's
Horrifying.
we've had the first $60, yes. What about the second $60?
And that's when Tyler wasn't allowed to come
That
together.
reminds me, you owe me 340 gold.
Out of nowhere.
That's for the hammer.
Let me think. Last legendary sword I heard of.
God doesn't have what you might call a sense of wealth.
The closest thing I can think of to a legendary sword, the knight captain of
I wanted
the knight captain of Bastion.
Yeah.
His sword is somewhat notorious. It might be legendary, but I don't know what you mean by legendary.
Can it kill a Wendigo? Follow-up question. Can I kill him and take the sword?
I would request that you not.
Who was it again?
The knight captain of Bastion.
I see why. Sounds tough.
I like the order of that. Can I kill him and take it from him? I would hope you wouldn't. What's his name again?
I like that she answered.
I don't know if it would kill a Wendigo. I know of Wendigos. I don't know if that sword has the properties necessary to do such a thing.
Do you know a property that might permanently dispatch a Wendigo? Because you can, even if you can cut one down, it just gets the fuck back up. It's really irritating when you're trying to defend your chillins.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Luckily, I've never had to deal with them. They stay
What
to
about
the
when you're
the-
trying to defend your
The
Netflix?
ruin seems to keep them at bay as far as traveling south.
Well, they're encroaching on the blue glacier. So the glacier is
Okay.
like always migrating.
Alright, next week.
Well, it's
Next week,
migrating
remember the fucking
over the Wendigo Woods. So that's why I'm in the south.
There's only so much
See.
stuff I can buy with EBT.
See, this is how you set up. This is how you set up a group hug around a campfire.
Why about?
One person goes, "This is why I'm here," and it kind of gets the ball
It
rolling.
helps when the other people are like listening.
Yeah, I'm telling Tyler.
Yeah.
Because he's
Everyone
everyone other than us.
thank you for that information. That's concerning.
Yeah. Look, if you don't want more people like me,
I don't mind people like you. You seem like
Really?
perfectly reasonable people.
can I hold her hand?
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna reach out and like attempt to put a hand on
Touch
her
base?
She pulls it back because it was the hand that was previously.
shoulder.
She pulls her shoulder back. Please no.
We're now in this situation.
Excuse me.
She
Thank
continues to lean
Yeah, I'm
back.
just gonna stand there.
Okay.
You have no idea what that means to
Huh?
me.
Proper glass?
Glass over there. I think.
Down in the south, no means no.
No means
What?
yes.
No means yes.
I'm pretty sure I owe you a boy.
You don't. You owe me nothing.
I like this.
I am grateful for your assistance in tracking down
It's my
the
pizza though.
werewolves, and that is it as far as what we owe each other.
Wait, how do you pay this here?
Generally, you incur a debt before you pay it.
Weird. No wonder you guys have more wizards. You guys are just like bred to be like more intricate.
There is something to be said for a simple life as well.
So you don't want your stormtrooper cup?
All right.
You should be proud of yourself.
So, thank you again for
So,
what you provided. Can I have my? Thank you. There's you said that they are
they wanted to meet.
they're wanting to meet. They're expecting something.
They're open to a meeting. If you guys want to do that, basically there's a house
Hey, it's Bill.
in a part of town, which I would actually know, but I don't remember what
Look,
Bruce's
side
house?
of town. Yeah, Bruce's house.
Well, it wasn't exactly like it is here on a map.
Right.
Yeah. So
we put it on the map.
They said the best thing to do if you want to set up a meeting, basically put something there, like a note of some kind. They will get it and interact through that house, even though it won't be, anybody.
it's a third-party location.
Yeah.
That very well.
So yeah, if you guys want to do something like that, they are open to it.
Well,
If not, yeah.
You've already provided the service, so I thank you for that. In fact, since it's you not only did you bring to light what we've been searching for, but you potentially brought them to the table. So I will send a note to Hunter Quartermaster, and he will provide a reward as part of your service. I appreciate it. if you continue to, or if you want to continue with this engagement, the rewards again will continue. But if you wish to part now, I think what you've done, and we may meet again down the road. But it's up to you. Just let me know what you decide. You have all the time you need to do so. I will plan on dispatching a message once I meet with my council, and we'll likely be doing so in the morning. So, if you do want to continue assisting us in being kind of a middle or an intermediary, then please meet me back up here before mid-morning, and we'll continue from there.
So
Thank you again.
yeah, no problem. Thank you.
And you see her like pull out a small notepad and she scribbles something on it, and she tears it out and kind of throws it to the side, and it kind of vaporizes in like a light sparkle of magic, and then she puts it back in her pocket. The quartermaster is in the basement, just above the dungeon,
Perfect. We'll head there now.
and you see her go back into her office, and at this point,
As they're all walking out, I want to kind of just turn around and go, hey, excuse me, I have
Yes.
one question.
yes, I'm not sure I've caught your name before.
I'm Jeremiah Grant.
Lana, nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
He was a bullfrog.
So,
High priestess of
is the town this big? There's usually an underground. Are you aware of some sort
Are
of
you referring to a literal underground or more of a black market?
more of a black market?
Yes,
Is there one that you're aware of in this town?
we're aware of several.
Okay. Do you know of one that deals in human trafficking?
No, I have. We have tamped those out in the past when they do arise, but there may be some that we're not yet aware of.
Krieger is physically agitated.
Good note.
I was good. That's why I looked at you.
Simply
We're
what?
learning some shit about Jeremiah.
They've been tamped down, but that's not to say there isn't one currently that we haven't discovered. We've been distracted with this lycanthropation.
Okay. How long ago did you take them out?
Oh,
Last
it's
at least.
periodically over the course of time. They've popped up here and there. We found them. We stamped them out.
Perchance you have a list of names of people you.
I don't. Sterling might have those records somewhere, but he's currently off on a bit of an important endeavor at the moment. So, if you'd like, I can. If you have a name I can search for, I can do some looking for you.
Please. It's Elizabeth Grant.
Ren. Elizabeth Ren. Okay, I will do some looking, and I will reach out to you if I find anything.
Okay.
So, I hope everything goes well.
Thank you.
I know how that must feel. Anything else I can answer or be of service before I get back to? She looks at the rest of. She looks past me.
I was hoping they had left.
Oh, gotcha. So yeah, as you're walking down, Krieger does hear just kind of like his hackles go up as he kind of overhears a little bit of human trafficking, but then just continue downstairs. You turn and leave?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, she goes back into her office, and Mir, as she was opening the door, you did catch a glimpse of that person in her office with dressed all in black, actually standing behind her desk looking out the window.
Is it somebody I recognize?
Nope.
It's not Nestor looking or
No.
anything? Okay.
Definitely a different build. Nestor was very withered is bad, but he spends more of his time studying than eating, so he looked malnourished.
Okay.
He was kind of frail. This is a much more confident stance and a much stronger build.
Okay.
Human as opposed to Nightborn.
Or Nightborn as opposed to Wither.
Yeah. That's good.
Wither, whatever.
So Nightborn's a
I meant Wither.
No, I know. Yeah, well, humans might be withered compared to Nightborn. Hard to say. I'm just grateful that I have a priest named Occlusion.
I know, I saw that.
Occlusion!
Occlusion. Okay. Is there anything else I can discern from my quick glance? Like, is it just
There's
black figure?
black leather. Put a hood up.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys go downstairs. Off you go. You stop for tea if you wish.
Here he goes. He does squats the whole way down.
And lunges.
I just watched them and laughed.
Look at that ass.
You laugh, but then you're just like,
Alright.
like your hip bones are starting to chafe.
It's just the inside of the thigh, you know?
Groovy. Where do you want to go from here?
I'm going down to the basement.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Krieger, you want me to pick up your cut of the money?
Yes.
Yes. You carried it for me. Jeremiah does catch up, nimbly like. And you guys all go down into.
No, we immediately ran into the city. He's lost forever.
So as you guys go
He's a
down,
tracker. You can find us.
you guys have been to the dungeon before. You've never been to the quartermasters. So before you went down a single flight of stairs and you found yourself in the dungeon. You get down to the main level and you look down the stairs and those are the stairs you went down to go to the dungeon. And there's no quartermaster there. It's dungeon.
Yeah, 49 3/4.
Is the page there?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yes.
We're looking for the quartermaster.
Oh. Okay.
How do we? Okay, yeah.
Just right this way. And he takes you like through a couple of hallways and to a very securely locked metal door. I would like a praise checks.
12 plus 7 modifier for a bridge.
50. 19.
16.
17.
You guys all recognize that the dark metal is most likely adamantite or adamantine vault door.
This looks like an Australian guy. Sorry.
I just look at it and go, that might kill Wendigo.
So
We fought with doors twice. We can do it again.
the page, Marcus,
You
pulls out a rope next to the door, and shortly thereafter, you hear a couple very loud clanks, and the door kind of slowly just opens and lurches up against the wall. You almost hear the stone walls of the tower just kind of cracking under the weight of this, or at least creeping under the weight of this door.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only like 7 feet wide, like you could squeeze 2 people in simultaneously, but mostly it's a person with a cart of some sort. And a very large man with a shimmering, what might be a mithril breastplate, greets you on the other side of the door. You're the one that sniffed out those critters?
Yes.
I like it.
What was your name?
Griff.
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 Hi, Griff. My name's Mir.
Good to meet you.
It would be great.
Good to meet you. So, I believe we have a reward to pay off. Right this way, please.
Alright, enter. Yeah. We're all good with the order here, right?
What?
We're not gonna get that door locked behind us.
I
No.
think we're fine. I think
Son,
we're
the
safe.
dungeon's downstairs. This is over here.
Plus, if they really wanted to take us, I don't think there's much of a fight we could put up.
Keep in mind,
inside there.
you might have not gotten a description of the Order of the Beacon in general. You ever play WoW? No. Okay. So, the Beacon is a
Yeah.
gigantic lighthouse. Lamplight itself, the city, is built on a hill. You know the history. You kind of grew up within the general area. Whenever a great danger seems to arise, nice, Patrick.
Whoa.
Whenever a great danger seems to arise, everyone will flee
I
from
just look
fields
over and I see
and
Patrick's
from
tongue.
wilderness to the hill.
Getting kinky.
Let's just brush your teeth. Patrick.
And as a result of that, the city kind of formed and blossomed, and then as a result of that, kind of
Your breath smells nice.
a lighthouse of safety, a beacon of hope and safety, was erected at the top of the hill. So this order both protects the city and the general nation of Lamplight, and as you might expect of a beacon of light and safety and guardianship, it has a lot of large men in large plate mail with large swords, like very paladin types.
Like the Brotherhood.
Yeah,
from
it's
Fallout.
just for Fallout, it's like the Brotherhood of Steel, but not
Only
rampant
cool.
dicks. They're like for the fight type of people. So big pauldrons, big armor, big personalities.
Tiny dicks. It's just
If steroids are a thing, probably. But
Krieger?
Krieger.
no. But yeah, so basically you're in a lighthouse full of paladins, and at this point you wouldn't be able to escape anyway.
Jeremiah, if they lock that behind us, I'm leaving with it.
Griff chuckles at that, actually.
Laugh it up, fuzzball. I'm sorry.
I can't take you anywhere.
I said sorry.
It's okay.
I said sorry.
I like that play too.
I said sorry. I'm learning to apologize.
Right this way, and he's. The door crunches behind you, and he leads you down a small set of stairs.
Where'd you get the material for that door?
Over time,
So good place for it.
Minder Hall.
Yeah, what?
Minder Hall.
What?
You don't know Minder Hall?
Minder Hall. It's a dwarven. I'll tell you about it later.
Can we go there?
Yes.
He's
It's actually something. Don't worry.
right. So, I have a requisition for a bit of a reward. Now, have you been? You don't look familiar.
We've never been in here before.
Okay. So, do you know the order's reward process?
No.
Okay. We need to endure a series of challenges.
It's a structured stuff.
Yeah, I'm actually.
Can I beat them up?
I'm teasing.
The quartermaster takes 75% of all.
It's actually a series of standardized testing
Ah!
to determine your ideal treasure.
I failed every single one of those tests. It always
Can you
came
please-
back, no results.
Can you please take the
I
short
meant
survey?
to, right.
No! Why?
Like,
Survey.
all of high school taught me I'm just
What would
supposed
you
to be
look like as
retired.
the opposite sex? What?
Yeah, no career.
What would you look like as the opposite sex? Where's Boulder when you need him?
Yeah.
Going around Facebook.
Dead. That's where.
Yeah, it's 6 feet under.
I don't know why fucking every dumbass.
What would you look like if you were a woman? I look like a hideous woman that looks more like a man, I
I
think.
look like a woman that needs to shave.
Caitlyn Jenner.
So,
Not that bad.
anyway, well, there are options. We can either dispense pure currency, or we can find some equipment that we've collected over the years that might suit your purposes that equal the same value. I will leave that to you.
Guys, do you have a preference? You want just money or
I
you want
want
equipment?
gold.
You want gold?
What are we talking about here?
Money.
Get specifics?
Is this something you're looking for?
Todd, stop looking at the door. You need to listen to him he talks.
The door is not part of the required.
Todd, I want the door. No.
If you can, I'll tell you what. You could have the door if you find to be an exact copy and bring it here.
Well, that's. What would be the
That's not
or
Todd.
better.
Todd, that's
I
like
will
a
also
pretty
take
sweet
better.
deal. You should do that.
If you can find me a better door, I
This
will
is why
take that
people
too.
think you're evil.
I'm just saying, it's pretty nice. It's generous for him to offer his door. And while I do this to Todd, I kind of wink at the guy, the quartermaster guy.
He's like,
But I might have shit charisma, but I have a wisdom.
so what'll it be? Coinage and gems, or your choice of spoils?
Can I look at the spoils?
Of course, by all means.
That's what I was trying to ask.
Yeah.
But I got.
So yeah, down here,
But those words are
there
complicated.
is another adamantine door. It's not quite as big. No, it's not quite as big, but there is a
smaller one.
there is a gilded symbol of Abaddon.
Ooh.
Abaddon. Wait,
Uh,
I know that. Don't I?
Yes,
What's Abaddon?
the god of cities and currency.
Yeah.
So and
Legal
and-
currency.
Makes sense.
Legal
Yes.
currency.
as opposed to well, it's not Asmodan.
No, that's not Loki.
No.
I just had it.
Right,
Uh,
the devil.
Lord
No,
Yeah.
no, Abadar. And then there's one that sounds a lot like it. His books are red instead of whatever color.
Well, yeah, but Nordborger is all about counterfeit.
Sure, totally. But there's Abadar, and there's a devil who sounds very much similar to Abadar.
Abaddon.
Is it Abaddon?
What's that? I
Yeah,
think
so
it's
the symbol of Abadar, the good god of civilization and currency, not the devil of negotiations and trade deals.
Not
Sounds
the
legit.
not the demon that Benedict accidentally sent a mother to be a cultist.
Or that.
It's not my fault she couldn't read.
So,
Don't do
if
it.
you want currency, it'll be through this door. Just let me know. I'll have to unlock it first. Otherwise, by all means. The rest of the room, it looks like it's a very large room. It's like a library of gear. There are.
Can we have a library like this?
You have one.
We have one.
It's just not full.
He doesn't.
Yes.
Don't worry. Our keep is also on the list of places we're gonna go.
There are in this place. It's
I mean, my keep.
for a group of adventurers, especially for ones in Frontier. It's like walking into a toy store.
Yeah. Toys R Us,
Yeah,
when
like-
you're old enough to afford the toys, but not
Yes.
too old to not want the toys.
When you want to make a beeline for the video game aisle.
I'm this close to spending $100 of my dollars of my birthday money on a real life size version of the Red Ranger Power Sword at Toys R Us.
Bag.
I don't care.
Whatever works for you, man.
Power Sword, you're queer.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. I love it, but you just need to know.
No, that's totally fine. If I end up with a couple extra grand, I'm going to commission a set, or I'm going to commission a TIE Fighter uniform.
Yes.
Or a TIE Fighter uniform.
They have. I don't think it's TIE Fighter, but it's the black. I sent you a picture of it. It's the black. Is it a TIE Fighter helmet?
High pilot.
TIE Pilots.
Yeah, yeah.
High fivers
Black.
don't have helmets.
No.
Black with the red in the visor. They have the.
Those are the new order fuckers. I want the OG shit.
I want two
I'm
things. I want the Forest Scout Stormtrooper armor,
Also good.
visor, right? I want that,
And
I
a
want-
real life speeder bike.
I mean, if it's on the list,
Why would you need a
What?
visor on a helmet, though?
shut up. I like it.
Because it looks cool.
I also like the sand one. The sand one is also good. But I also want a set of meteorite dice.
Yeah. When those come back into stock.
That shit is expensive.
$200
Dude,
for a
what's
Yeah,
that?
I mean, we're talking about like if we sold Tyler into slavery.
It's from space.
Oh, you wouldn't be able to afford much of that.
Maybe a big man.
We can get $200 out of you.
We'll turn you into a lycanthrope first.
I mean, hey, you've got meat on you. We could sell you for raw material.
Well, also, never mind, I'm going there.
Look, you've got a virgin hole.
I was about to say, that's
And
We
what
can,
I
we,
need,
can
but-
we can sell you for parts. It's
For
fine.
now.
Being disposable is valuable in itself.
Yeah.
We are in Home Depot with a platinum card that doesn't belong to us.
You have a credit limit. You just haven't been told what that credit limit is. However, so in this place, there are
It'll stop getting declined eventually.
there are suits of armor that can only be made of dragon scale, of various colors of dragon scale. There are swords that seem to glow of their own volition. There are shields that are mirrored beyond any reasonable
You need a new one.
sense of things. There are some sets of plain-looking boots on a shelf.
What's with the boots?
Which ones?
The boring looking ones.
They're not boring.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
Well,
Low charisma.
well, those boots.
I made for walking.
That is what they
now
do.
animated boots.
That is what
they.
That is what they do. Just if you use the wrong command word, they'll run off and you have to catch them.
I don't want those.
No,
What's the command word?
I'm not telling you. If you say it, they'll run off.
What's the command word?
Last time it took me a week, and they never left the room.
The command word is Achtung. They're the Juden boots.
They go by Jack.
No, don't stop. Wait, what? It was an accident. They were changing the boots during another thing. Don't worry about it.
You should be looking for magic hammer, even though you have masterwork with it. You should be looking for magic armor, because your armor is mundane. And you should be looking for a magic power stone.
I've lost
Primarily, you want
There
shield.
are
Where's my iPad?
the things that catch your right. There's kind of a magician's quarter of the room,
Also,
where it's got like scroll, like a wine rack full of scrolls, that kind of thing.
how much my next tattoo costs.
There are wands and staves, floppy hats, robes of all sorts, comfy socks that look comfy.
Get the sock! Get the sock!
I was just gonna say, I will take a pair of socks. No.
Wait, are they waterproof socks? That's
Sorry.
the question.
I have been told that you, as a group, actually let me double check one thing real quick.
No worries.
Above board.
All you men.
Fuck it, doing it anyway. Lana has approved up to 32,000 gold pieces worth of equipment each, as a group.
As a group, each.
So by all means, take your time, look
Sorry,
around.
something caught my eye.
2 hour shopping montage.
Shopping
God damn it!
Krieger summons his hammer and kills me.
Ooh! I killed Joshua! High five! You're right! I meant you're right!
There's another guy in there named Joshua. He's randomly.
He's mopping.
Boom!
Can I get his? He's like,
I know, that was very exciting. I yelled a lot.
I just want to see a death match between you two.
Oh, dude, it would go for days.
Not really. Krieger would win pretty quickly.
So,
That's over. I have more help.
The goggles?
Yeah.
yeah.
I had, well,
See what kind of goggles
I had
they have.
52.
That's it?
You said 32,000?
All told, 8,000 apiece.
Ain't that your the strength tattoo you want costs 6.
I know. Gold it is. Sorry, the industry?
The lead blades is 4K.
The size industry?
What kind of goggles are you looking for?
Let's see.
Uh,
Full strength is
either
6, so that means
There are, luckily most of them are labeled. Some of them are not labeled, most of them are. You find a set of
With 2 grand, I could increase your movement speed by 10.
fairly resplendent looking goggles that
This-
have kind
this-
of a
this-
yellowish
this-
tip to them.
You increase strength.
Yes.
They're labeled as Eyes of the Eagle. They do grant a +5 bonus
don't know.
on perception checks.
What's it called?
But it will be
So
cheaper
that's
to
a thing
take
you're
from one
interested in.
end
Those
and
are
try
theirs,
to
those are
deliver
worth
a
25 gold
pieces.
pieces.
Actually, no, you wouldn't want constant effect. You can just turn it off.
Yours? Okay.
But
Eyes
it's
of the Eagle, write it on.
I'm at
And then put a
Because
5
you also
in
want-
your perception rank, or in your special perception bonus thing.
Size industry.
Yeah.
And it would do
There are
reading.
also,
but
uh,
lead blades.
alternatively, next to that, there are a set of wider looking goggles that are slightly darker.
Like I already
They're
have
Eyes of the Owl,
Yes.
that instead can give or grant low light vision.
I already
That's
have
actually
that,
more
so
what I
I'll
was
take that price.
Okay, those are 4,000.
Let me crunch.
Low light vision?
Not dark vision, low light vision.
Yeah. That's what I'm
Yep. There are also a set of goggles that are Eyes of Keen Sight, which do both, but it's
Joe,
plus
what's
2
your
perception
blackjack?
and low light, but that are 6,000.
What?
+% motive.
Love for sense motive. Let's see.
So
Sense
6,000
motive
is
is-
plus 2 confidence bonus on perception checks.
I don't have
And
any
gain
points in
light
it. I have a +2 modifier.
16,000 gold.
Eyes
Yes,
of
fuck
Keen
you.
Sight.
Okay.
Krieger, what kind of thing are you looking for?
Gold.
Just straight gold?
Straight gold.
Okay, don't even look at anything here. It's like, those are pretty. I want this.
Yep.
Okay, and Todd?
Krieger has plans.
So does Mirrored.
So
So I'm
let,
not looking. Although Staves looked
let me ask you this.
sounded nice, but
Are there any large size great swords laying around?
There is
Okay.
a large size greatsword.
We gotta get to
It
find
is up high on its own little,
trying.
in a glass,
to do.
not a glass case. It's it looks like a metal case, but it's open on one end. This thing looks like it was probably wielded by a giant
Perfect.
of some sort.
That's how I learned to wield big
Right.
things.
And
Krieger learned. Krieger learned a different way.
Just looking at it,
Krieger puts his arm
there's-
around Todd
even though
and looks down at
even
him.
though the rest of it looks almost immaculate, although crudely designed, the edge is still has the slightest hint of dried blood on it.
Craig,
Okay.
lower high.
Sounds interesting.
Griff walks over to it. He's like,
Good.
"Look at that sword.
Yeah, what's the deal with it?
It's out of your league, but
So it's out of my cost.
and then some."
Well, can't tell me about it anyway.
Yeah. That there's a. That there's the Godslayer.
I like it.
Yeah.
Go on.
It was used by a. What's over there?
Todd slowly gets an erection.
It was used by. Legend has it. It was used by a, so it's legendary. That's why I
I mean, go on.
legend has it.
Legend has it.
It was used by.
Nice. Fun fact, that is
It
Gamora's
was
sword.
used by a rune lord to
Name of her sword is
slay
Godslayer.
one of the primordial gods. Chopped its head clean off.
So you're saying this can kill a god?
That's the legend.
What do I have to do?
Down
Who do I have to kill? What do I have
To
to
the right.
smite to get god killed?
Right around there. Right side up, 2 inches.
Left side up 3 inches.
No.
So, well, you would need to. I don't know what you need to do. I've never seen a requisition order come down anywhere near the value of that thing. Also, no one I know can use it,
Well,
or even lift it.
you know me now. Okay, look, I'm not gonna take it. You said I can't take it, but can I pick it up? You've never seen anyone lift it. Can we try?
Social experiment.
Todd just walks over. It's so hard.
It's like, you're here? Yes. Again?
It's never
Yes.
happened
Yes.
before.
It's okay.
Guys,
I think I'm gonna buy it.
Cha-ching, cha-ching. Oh yes, it will be mine.
I'm gonna play Stairway on my sword.
No stairway. Denied.
You know, I've never played Stairway to Heaven as a bard.
Good.
Good.
I will as a war priest. Hey, welcome to heaven. Pow!
Is this
So-
like tape?
Picking it
No,
up,
it's
yes. We were able to put it up.
it's called
Wielding it.
plastic dip.
No.
So basically,
I didn't know exactly
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
You can pick it up.
I'm gonna put
So
them on the wheels.
trying to wield it effectively.
Just certain
Is there a
sections.
target coming?
Not down here.
Who do I have to get permission from?
Nobody. It doesn't leave the room.
Can we bring a target dummy here?
I don't have time for this.
No, you're weird. We can split it.
Sure.
Go here, this is for science. Blam! Hey, so you get 4K, I get 4K. Right. You don't say anything.
You still
Or
can't
you're
afford
next.
it. You still can't afford board, Nick? It's a Vorpal greatsword. A large Vorpal greatsword.
Okay.
you ain't getting shit, yo.
That shit straight up exists.
Yeah. Noted. Do you have visiting hours?
Yes, as long as you have a requisition that's come down, you can visit.
Can I get my money and go?
I need
Yeah.
more requisitions.
I go get my money and go.
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing.
Also
Just
money.
roll.
Actually, is there any fancy like hide armor?
Was
Let me
8
look.
8,000?
8,000 each.
8,000 a pop!
Krieger. Enlarged person is 4,000. Lead blades is also 4,000. If you go bust, I can give you both of those.
Fuck yeah.
That would be instead of bull strength, which is 6.
And shit. I have 8,150 gold pieces and 185 platinum.
You know what? Hold on. We have 8,000?
8,150 gold pieces now.
Okay.
And 185 platinum.
You have 185 platinum?
Yeah, I sold the ass rubies.
Jesus
Oh, that's right. I forgot you did that.
185 platinum. Isn't that another grand?
Yes.
And So then
Is
is there
that-
another grand?
Yep. He has 9,850 gold pieces.
You have 10,000 gold.
Yeah, essentially. Oh, yeah,
On the dot.
exactly.
You have 10,000 gold on the dot.
That's much easier.
Which means you could do bolstering
Wow.
and enlarge.
So
So,
they do have a set of deathless hide armor.
Krieger goes back to the inn and just rolls around in his bed. Goes cold, naked.
Nice. Now he's got some butt coins.
Got some butt coin.
Yeah, there is a set of deathless hide armor. It looks like it was made from.
Joe,
Bless
if you're
you.
gonna put that up on the wall, it has to be perfectly centered left to right.
No, it needs to be somewhere where it's reasonable for use. If it's perfectly centered, it'll be way too far on my side of things.
Right.
Move it over more this way, that way people can use it better. Because there are going to be things in that corner eventually, so it'll center itself out fine. Trust me.
Otherwise, Craig will have to sit on the other side of the table.
But then he'll be able to hear me better.
There you
It looks like this was this hide armor looks like it was made from the hide of some umbral type of creature.
okay.
So
Shadow, right?
yeah, it's from the shadow plane. However, it doesn't have shadow properties. It appears to Griff tells you it seems to absorb some of that cleric-y type of energy.
I'm familiar.
Yes. So
I
the bad kind, when it's trying to hurt you.
I go to gesture towards my holy symbol and realize that it's not a holy symbol down here and put my hand back down. Go. I'm familiar.
Sorry. Are you familiar with the deathless property?
Deathless. It sounds familiar. No, I'm thinking Deathless initiative.
It protects its wearer from harmful negative and positive energy, including channel energy. It absorbs the first 10 points of damage that the wearer would normally take, and the wearer has 25% chance to ignore negative levels for any attack.
That's really pretty. I'm sure it's really cool.
It's a +1 bonus worth of.
I'm gonna go with the cash.
Very well. And he cranks open the door, and
Those are what you.
so he. You want it pure coinage or you want gems?
Good gems.
He kind of doles out a bunch of gems to each of you. Coinage or gems?
Coins.
go.
Big old heavy stack of 8,000 gold pieces. What about you two? You look as you're eager for gems.
Yes.
Yeah, gems
Plus
work.
4 strength tattoo is 6 grand.
I
Plus
still
1
have 2,000
effect point size with no actual change. It's 4
Most of
Coinage it is.
Plus
Second to
1
none gold
to your
pieces.
actual
Right there.
size.
Mine's mostly going to
Plus
become
4 to your constitution.
stuff.
6K.
Hey, what's
So
the
those are all permanent.
Okay.
This one just changes the
So-
damage dice.
It turned out to be 20-minute shopping
This one
montage.
actually
Yeah.
Good job,
makes your
everybody.
size.
Whee! Patrick is
which
enthralled.
also changes.
Yes.
But
Yes. Sorry,
Okay.
Patrick. We'll
This
get to
one
you. I'm
comes with a
sorry.
strength bonus
No,
and effect bonus.
no, I'm enjoying it.
So you
Oh,
can
good.
increase
Good.
the actual weapon.
I'm glad to see you across the table again. It's good.
But
I know, I've been
This
missing
one
the table.
it's still
Give
an
me back.
effect when the hallway is too small to be big.
So,
I'm assuming we're all going to have.
so you head back out. You're
Griff?
back out in the city.
I appreciate all your help.
I have this one.
Good luck out there.
I'm
Hope to
also
see you
going to
again.
get that
Thanks.
one Because they
I mean,
Oh, if you find anything interesting, bring it on back.
also you can
Put it
just
out of the
get
vault.
We'll
We
do.
can, we can keep the stash of interesting items.
you could-
Especially
you
if
could
it's
do
the more
plus one
dangerous
strength,
kind of
you could do
thing where you
plus one
don't want it
Either
amongst
one
the
of
public.
both with
Got
either one, Or
You know where to
could just do
come.
both of these.
We'll do.
And still have 2K.
Do we still have something like that?
I don't know.
I thought we had a wand. Wasn't there a horrible wand?
It's up to you.
I think there was, but I think it's at the keep.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was that evil fucking thing that we have.
It was a dagger.
Oh, dagger.
Oh yeah, the dagger that you can stab people and they become undead.
Yeah. That's at the keep.
Oh,
We should sell it.
We should bring it back and sell it to them. Anyway, all right. Thanks, Griff. Walking out.
And the door ka-chung behind you.
I'm assuming we're all leaving the building.
Yep.
Perfect. Say, Todd,
Yeah.
you remember that big piece of glass that you got for selling those gloves?
Yeah.
Could I have that?
Pourquoi?
Well, one
He
of the
speaks
things-
Elven.
Well, Porque los dos. What? Here's the deal. I have a old companion who is dead, and I need to resurrect him. That happens to be the exact thing I need to do said thing.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Did he die an honorable death?
No, he got. Actually, holy shit, yeah, he did.
Actually,
Sorry, I got confused. Arsenic Boulder.
Giant pussy. Wait, he died.
Well, I was gonna be like, no, he got turned into a woman and then a mountain fell on him, but that was Boulder,
Yeah.
and not Hars.
Boulder,
Yes.
Boulder.
even then, that was still pretty that was a pretty cool way to go.
You went out with Tefra, man.
That wasn't a cool way to go. I can't get over this rock. I'm confused. That's not a cool way to go.
Outside perspective story mode. A mountain fell on him. That's fucking baller. The actual thing, it's like this rock is confusing.
I'm stuck in a hole in the ground. No!
Actually, it was the slime. That's what it was.
Tefra went home and brought Balder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
He lives in a volcano.
Want to come with me? Sure. He died killing a green dragon, jumping off.
So he died a warrior's death.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Given the option to come back, would he give up his seat in Valhalla?
I think so.
That's a good question.
The reason he was part of our group is because we specifically were trying to track something down for him.
I don't.
He was on a mission
Okay.
that he chose to accept.
I'm still learning all the southern magics. Don't you guys have a way to just ask him?
Do we have a way to ask him? We can ask.
Speak with
Does
dead.
he want to come back?
Speak with
Yeah,
dead.
no, that'd be great.
Okay, just checking. Just checking with you.
Find a
Because
scroll
if
of it.
not, the two of us could use
You
the
could
money.
probably talk with. You could talk with
We
Moon
need money.
Would I be able to use? Is that a?
Speak with
arcane?
dead. Speak
Divine.
with dead is a necromancy
Divine.
spell.
But
Okay.
Moon Eye.
Luna.
I think speak.
Bloodborne, you know Moon Eye.
I think speak
Couldn't
with dead
we
is also
just go
wizard
to
spell.
the underworld and get him ourselves?
But you need the money.
Yes.
Right.
Could we
Well,
also
let's
do
do
that?
that.
The body is.
You want to just do that?
Yeah.
All right.
What?
Never
Go
mind.
to the underworld ourselves and get him.
To the underworld.
Look, if
That sounds
he-
way more fun.
That sounds way more fun.
if he'd be willing to give up his seat in Valhalla and come back to continue his quest, by all means, I would just ask that maybe when
We
I'm
check
a little,
first.
maybe I'm a little shy on something, I can get a little love,
Yeah.
and maybe we check first.
Let's check.
And to be fair, several of you are going to die. You're going to have plenty of chances to pull a dead body out of Valhalla or the underworld.
Yeah, but like we don't want frequent flyer miles.
Right?
You know what I mean?
Shit, we died again.
If it's not
Turn
this
around.
time, it's the next time Horse dies.
Wait.
Yeah.
If we die when we go to get Harsk, do we just show up and keep fighting?
No, we get checkpoints.
Right? Oh no! Mir died! I just show up right next to Harsk. Alright, let's just keep going! Run! Run! Ah!
Important note about all of these, especially this one. If you want to, you can just turn it off.
Yeah.
And then when you want to, you can turn it back on.
I know.
It's technically a standard action. but-
Alright, let's go talk to Luna.
Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
I watched that twice over the last couple days.
I enjoyed it.
We're going to Moon Eye.
How much?
This one
So,
doesn't do anything. It's just the damage.
You guys asked for directions to Moon Eye's place.
Yes. Do I not remember what it is?
Oh yeah, oh you totally do remember where it is.
Okay.
You get there. Moon
Well,
Eye's place isn't there.
I was gonna say, I remember where this is. It's probably
Your
gone.
height?
It's walked away.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Really?
However,
You'd be 14 and a half.
there's a sign.
That way. Just one arrow.
Alright.
It says
12
went
pounds
fishing.
of cock.
Yeah, all of your stuff.
It walks away?
Actually, it doesn't say went fishing. It just is a picture of a fish.
Ah,
And then there's a sign next to that that says
Your weight gets more.
apparently she went fishing.
By 8?
She got lost.
You get
Moon Eye's
plus
place
2
is now
minus
at this
2
address.
minus
Perfect.
1 to attack and AC.
I go that way.
You find Moon Eye's place at the second place. Perfect.
You threatened 10 feet.
And then
So,
I
once again, in a city full of well-built, fine architecture, varying
+2 strength, -2 dex, -1
levels
dex,
of
-1
artistry.
HP.
Very, even the places
Minus
down at
minus
the
2
bottom of the
dex.
hill are still nice enough. They're not like shacks and
-1
shambles.
AC,
Then there's Moon Eye's place.
-1 to hit,
It's
plus 5 feet of reach.
if the three little pigs were on acid and didn't have any sort of
Plus.
reasonable building supplies.
1d6.
Awesome.
That's Moon Eye's hut.
What?
And there it is, wedged between two other buildings. It's like sticking out onto the street like 4 or 5 feet.
like it like
legs is
Yeah.
like it's
plus 1d6.
You can
bulges
see, yeah, you
out.
can see that it's like the walls are kind of cracked in, and then the other buildings are kind of like cracked on the
Will
edges.
never be a
There
bad
was
guy.
an alley here at one point, but now there is Moon Eye's
Now
place.
there's Moon Eye. Nice. All right, and I walk in.
Like, either
straw
way, you're gonna get them both.
Straw roof, whereas everything else is nice and either ceramic plates or wood, and this is just like a little hat of straw. You walk in, and as before, it's bubbling and broiling, and it smells pickles. There are jars and jars and jars of eyeballs of all sorts of creatures. There are images of eyeballs that seem to follow you. There's a painting of
Wasn't there a jar of eyeballs that were following?
several.
us?
There are
Well,
several.
Yeah.
There are 3 dead chickens hanging from the rafters. Right above the cauldron. She may be steaming them for later.
Nice.
And yeah, there are all sorts of little trinkets and baubles of various colors just everywhere. There's no order to this place whatsoever.
Is she sitting there or?
She is currently. It looks like she's fishing in a
Question for you now.
briny green jar for something. Just-
Okay.
Got it. Chef's done.
That actual size thing?
Moon Eye.
Off and I'm back
Do you,
on.
do you need help?
Does that
Ah,
like take
wait,
around?
wait.
Or is it just like
Oh,
standard?
yeah.
I activate
Yeah.
it's
Standard action.
Which one are you
But
again?
it's not a
This one.
duration, you toggle.
Oh, this one.
But it's a standard action to turn it off, and a standard action.
Is everybody in Moon Eye's hut?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm just clarifying some rules.
Got it. So, for those of you who do not know Moon Eye, she is she's a small, elderly goblin. So probably like 16. She has like wispy gray and white hair just kind of everywhere. All like just going all over everywhere out of the top of her head. If she were a taller, more menacing creature, she may be a Gorgon of Medusa type. But instead, tiny goblin with white, poofy hair. Also of note, she has one eye that is stark white. It's completely clouded over. The other one is like kind of a little beady black thing that just kind of darts all over the place.
Mhm.
And as with most goblins, her head is 30% now.
Nice.
She's wearing like tattered robes at one point. Or maybe it was just a sack. It's hard to tell. But here she is.
Like a potato sack.
Yeah. A very nice potato sack. But yeah, she releases whatever was in the jar and pulls her hand out and just licks her hand. That's for me. Thank you.
Ah.
This then. And new friends.
Mm-hmm.
New friends.
Looking
for old friends.
Yes. One in particular.
One of many.
Mm-hmm. There have been a lot of dwarves that have died near me recently.
You're the dwarf thing.
Something like that,
Oh, that hurt my soul.
yeah.
Oh.
What is this one then wanting from the Wens now?
I want to know. I want to see if I can speak with Harsk. I believe he's in potentially some sort of Valhalla, and I would need to know if he wants to come back.
Oh. Okay.
I have a piece of him if that helps.
Yes.
Like,
A lot.
Do I have a piece of ours? Don't worry, it's got an ointment thing. It doesn't decay. It's fine.
I forgot about that.
In my creepy moment of when I put it all over his body in the crypt, and then when I took a chunk of him.
Yeah, look, his thumb or something?
Yeah. So, well, I didn't take like an appendage. Like more like just like
A biopsy.
like a little piece of
A
skin.
harsh biopsy.
Yeah, kinda. I've got like a little chunk. Look, we all know Harsk wasn't like fully assembled the last
I have
time.
no idea what you're talking about.
Wait, she thought it was an evil wizard.
Moon Eye reaches out a gnarled, flimsy little hand,
And I hand it to her.
and she takes it. Ugh.
It's about like the size of a quarter.
Sure. How?
Just right here.
And she walks over to. And she walks over to her crystal ball that she has on a table. And she takes it and just throws it over her head.
I want to make sure though, Beard watches her do this, and he's just completely like, okay. Like he's totally fine with what just happened.
She throws it. She throws a crystal ball over her shoulder. There's a bit of a crash. It's hard to tell if the ball broke or it crashed into something else. And she pulls out, or she reaches under the table, runs around, without looking under the table. Says, "Aha, got it!" And she plops down a jet black orb onto the same stand. And she just kind of looks at it, and she puts one hand on it. What's his name again?
Harsk.
Harsh. And she just kind of goes, Harsh. And her other eye.
Sounds like a dog.
So her white eye just starts. You can see it kind of flutter, and her good eye goes royal purple.
Nice.
Great oil. That's what I use my cup.
These are all
Harsh.
I think you might be interested in.
I need
This one.
a wisdom check from you.
All stained.
Alright, let's see here.
And in your armor. But if you haven't put anything in reference, then you have to ask for it. You have to sit there.
17.
Perfect.
That one's so cheap because it's only once per day.
First, you feel a tug.
Hey.
It is heaven after all.
Okay.
Whoa.
This really is very well.
You feel a tug at your soul,
I
but
want one.
since that's all that there's left, it's like you're being forcibly pulled somewhere else. You don't have any vision, but it seems like you can hear ambience around you that is not what you have
Okay.
somewhat become accustomed to. It's hard to kind of pinpoint exactly what it is or how long you've been here, but it seems like you're in a room now, and you hear
Whoa.
Wait, didn't Harsk know Moonlight?
yes.
No, Harsk never met Moon Knight. That was only me and Teffer.
Oh, that's
when
true.
it
It
was
was only you, Trevor.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Hound and
No,
Hound.
I was in the room with you that
First
one time.
Oh yeah, you were.
No,
So
Oh,
you do hear.
I really went
So
to a
you do
couple
have more. You do have. You can't see, but you have
times.
audible,
Things
and you can kind of get. You're bombarded with smells, and you do get a sense that it is Moon Eye's place
Whoa.
because
Whoa.
there's a very like you're almost halfway inhabiting a goblin mind, but you still have
No.
your consciousness about you. So
Okay.
you get to run yourself from here.
Perfect. Weird. What's going on?
Harsk.
Weird, what are we? Who are these people?
We're in Moon Eye's
We're-
hut.
Hi.
Remember how disgusting this was.
Yeah.
So I've been like kind of freaking out here a little bit.
As this, Moon Eye is actually speaking, and it is still her voice. However, the way she was talking before and this are 100% different. You are all firmly convinced another person's talking to you through this weird little goblin.
Awesome.
Here's the deal. We can potentially bring you back to life.
Oh,
But
shit. Wait, did I die?
you're dead.
What? Is the dragon?
Yes, the dragon is dead.
Where's Where's my battle buddy?
Your battle. He also died later.
Wait, where's Hound?
Hound's back at the keep.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait. Well, shit. Did he die from the dragon too?
No. He died in a cave. Later, we went in to deal with the big cave, the mimic, and it fell on him.
Oh, poor guy. He deserved a better way to go.
Yeah, he died kind of like a bitch. No, I'm just saying. Just kidding. Yeah, so.
Well, shit. This is like, I totally have no idea where I'm at right now. It's kind of freaking me out.
Right.
If I'm dead, I would like to not be dead.
I would like perception checks from everybody who is corporeal.
Perception checks from corporeal.
17.
17?
Oh yeah, 17. Oh god, no. Too young.
Too young.
You said perception.
Not Idaho. 16.
Some parts of Eastern Oregon.
Krieger.
So Idaho.
Perception check.
Oh,
You're corporeal.
I wasn't thinking of that. Something else. 14.
14. 14, 16, 17, and 17.
So 15 and above. It looks like Moon Knight is straining. So it's hard to tell how long she'll be able to maintain. But it definitely looks like it is exerting lots of energy to channel this.
Yeah, so, Hars, I just need to know, I mean, you just said you want to come back if you are dead, correct?
Yeah, I haven't even had any ale on this side of the afterlife.
That is a
About
shitty
4
Valhalla. Todd's a liar. I'll explain it later.
Must be a different one.
All right, that's all I need, and hopefully I will see you shortly, Hars.
No, me too. I hope so too.
Yeah,
Take care. Don't die.
I'll try not to.
All right. Good.
See you soon. Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. Hope to see you soon, but like on this side.
Yeah. I hope to see you on that side too.
All right.
And
She's still just channeling. It's just this awkward silence now.
there's an awkward silence for like 2 seconds. Like, are you still? And her eye goes back to normal. First, you get wrenched back into the odd abyss that you are still trying to acclimate yourself to.
Cool.
What did he say?
He said he wanted to come back.
What? That's probably good news for him then.
Yeah.
Because he gets to.
Yeah.
You should also do both of those.
Want me to do it?
Can you do it?
Dash DC 9.
No,
That's for me. You can do the +4 to strength and the
Gonna need about 5,000 gold pieces worth of diamonds.
So you do +2 to
Just
hit,
5?
+3 damage. And
I
your
have-
damage size increases.
I have. Ooh, I got 8,000. I got
They're not all
8,000.
diamonds. They're not all diamonds.
They're not all diamonds.
No, it's like some amethyst.
It's not like 5,000 gold worth of them are diamonds. No. Okay. I have a diamond worth. Ooh.
That's why I'm like,
We could come back.
Also, I don't know if he's gonna come back to the door.
It's only 4K.
Well, how do we make sure he comes back to the door?
Oh, I can do that.
You can't do that?
Or are you gonna cast?
So I
We'll bring him back from the dead.
The actual word person.
But why would he be a different person?
That's how that works.
To make Matt just quit.
The chaos of the afterlife. You never know where they're gonna come back from, or as, or who,
But
or when.
we want him back as him.
Well, he's still him. He's just might be him as a chicken.
Might have great tips.
She reaches up and plucks a chicken and then throws it into the fireplace. That's what's above me. Rafters and a bat hanging upside down. It's very far away.
Oh.
Well, it's like 8 feet above you.
It's what?
It's like a 15-foot ceiling, so it's like 8 feet above you.
And jump?
Is that high?
Well, you
Yeah,
jump
it's
8
nice.
feet high.
Well, I have +9 to my jump.
So yeah.
Well, dude.
White man can't jump.
I look embarrassed. And I stop immediately.
So we checked.
Yes.
Don't break my floor.
Alright, so would Feared understand at this point that she's talking about
Probably.
a thing rather than a.
Are you sure you
true
would want to
resurrection?
trust a goblin resurrection spell?
I mean, it might be fun.
It might be fun.
Maybe we can come back and do that for Tefra.
Moon eyes just count resurrection.
Actually, Tefra might actually enjoy something like that, as he
Oh,
won't be
thank
a burnt fucking.
Why is everything so cold?
Yeah.
He goes back as a female.
I preferred everything smelling like barbecue.
He goes back as a female. Things just got a whole lot hotter.
Guys, I gotta go roll dice.
Right. Creepy finger.
So,
Alright.
He was also a
I appreciate the offer, Moon Eye, but I think we'll go somewhere else. What do I owe you for your services today?
that was fun.
Okay.
150 gold pieces. These?
How about
I agree.
15 gold pieces?
What about 15 platinum pieces?
That's the same.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm still learning too.
I'm getting better at this.
Mm-hmm.
I leave.
You just fucking walked out.
I joined.
Bye.
I give her 15 gold pieces.
No, I need more than that.
Okay. I give her 150.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
She eats one of them.
Save that for later.
Awesome. Perfect.
Don't trust those banks.
I'll wait outside for you if you want.
And she goes to tend to the chicken that is roasting on an open fire.
Oh,
Was that a crust?
no, he was eating.
Oh.
I ate him. He was tasty.
He was a cat.
Sometimes Moon Eye is hard to not wander into Fizzbang.
It's a channel.
She's still kind of crazy. She talks more softly than up here where Fizzbang kind of is.
Yeah, she's less smoker.
She's just kind of down here in a little bit.
Les Marge's sister.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So,
The other one.
what is the plan?
Alright. So I walk out. Beard. Yes. He is not in a good place. You heard that.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
By the way, did I tell you the story of how he actually died?
And go.
No, you said that it wasn't heroic, but it was super heroic.
Yeah.
Well, the way his body was twitching at the end, it's kind of smeared across the grass. Not heroic.
Yeah.
Absolutely willing to donate this stuff to the worthy cause. Would I get 2,000 gold?
Sure.
So sweet. I'm not gonna fuck him. Spell it.
Trigger just eye fucks me.
Likes your corny ass.
Flexing.
You see his eye doing this. Sweet. There you go.
Thank you.
Krieger wants to creep.
Oh. Do you have that? Do you have that on you?
I give him 2,000 gold worth of my stuff.
Yeah,
I just go put this on.
I sold the wizard party loot.
Fine, I just want the fucking loot.
And what about my cut, little friend?
What in your cut?
My 2,000 gold.
What 2,000 gold?
I thought we were just giving out 2,000 gold.
Okay.
I give Krieger 2,000 gold as well.
There we go.
I love it when Joe pays for things. You're actually here paying for things.
Yeah, because I have money this time, and also I'm deciding to do it. Dicks.
Whenever he's not a game, we spend all of his money. He funded.
Democratically.
He funded Farm Aid.
Single-handed.
Democratically.
Yeah, we all voted.
We all voted. It was unanimous.
Hello.
Here
I
too.
hate to be that guy, but I was
You're
there.
included.
You were there for the diamond.
I was there when the
Oh, you don't hate to be that guy. You don't. You love it. You fucking love it.
No, Jeremiah hates it.
Yeah, but I hired you for the day.
Ooh.
Ouch. So,
you're getting better at wizarding. Weaponize that logic, man.
Also, you did just earn 8,000 gold from being with the group. Just saying.
You're welcome. So, where to, guys?
I would like to go to a church
Okay.
of
Pharasma?
Pharasma.
Got it.
What do you do?
You find one.
Yeah.
It's actually a cathedral out here.
Perfect.
More shopping.
Watch. I'll show you how to properly.
Quick question. Actually, and I can roll for it if you want.
Sure.
Which ones did you decide?
Would I know if I need to have Harsh's body here to do it?
Okay. So.
Depending on the spell.
Like, I want Harsh's body. I want him back in his body, like healed
Sure,
and resurrected.
Under normal circumstances, yes, but I was a dick and ate the biopsy. There's still a little bit left. So you can manage to resurrect him.
I still love that. I'm totally fine
No,
if we
she's
want to do story wise. Like, I'll just go get his body.
Yeah. No, we're not going to spend a month doing that.
Sorry, Patrick. We'll see you next time. No.
Yeah. Come back in August.
Right? August.
We'll bring it around again.
It'll be fine. We've got so much more shopping to do.
Yeah, luckily, there's like still some bits of him left in your pocket.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright, and I go there. Will he resurrect at his. Alright, I'll go in.
Sure, you go in. Inside, the place is very intricately decorated. Lots of there are gargoyles, ravens outside. Very gothic, as you'd expect. Inside, there are several very spiral and swirly designs with a lot of things. So, like the archways of the doors will have will end in spirals. The tapestries are generally black or purple, and a big white or silver spiral in the center. Ravens top many staves, that kind of thing. And the priests that walk around in there have black robes and they're often with either spirals on their shoulder or straight emblazoned on their chest. And all of them also seem to have silver daggers either on their belts or around their necks. And they're
Damn, y'all love Mountain Dew.
Why about two of them this time?
you see two people walking out of a side room. Their hands are bloody, but they seem happy. If you'd like to do a perception check to kind of get what's inside, by all means.
Absolutely. 20.
You can peek your head in there, and you do see that behind the curtain, it looks like someone has just given birth.
Oh.
And you do hear, at that you do hear the screaming of a freshly splooged baby. There's no...
I don't think that's the right
No.
verb, but I mean it's close.
Extruded baby.
It's related.
Extruded infant. Splooge comes first.
Splooge comes first, then the baby.
Yeah, a freshly extruded child.
I escaped from the womb. Escaped? That's where you're gonna go with? Escaped.
I vanquished the womb. So, yeah, it looks like there are several of these little offshoot rooms that maybe for like, it looks like they would lend, if not to surgeries, then to like child rearing or childbirth, that kind of stuff. So, and I think we've discussed Pharasma enough that she is not just the goddess of death, she is the goddess of death and rebirth, death and life. Right. So just as many people give funeral services, these people are also helping with midwifery and healing the infirm and stuff like that. However, you know from their teachings that if someone dies, it's not so much a sad mourning, it's just kind of an acceptance of that they moved on, job is done, next thing.
Right.
A lot of people seems discomforting to them, but that's just the nature of their religion. So this cathedral's a bit off a ways, but it seems to be what you need.
Perfect. I kind of flag down the first one I see that isn't in the middle of
Sure.
doing something.
There's an older man that looks like he may be taking up their services soon. In black robes, silver chain, a dagger kind of hanging very lowly and forward because he's somewhat hunched. Yes. May I help you?
Hopefully. I'm here to see if I can get a resurrection of a fallen comrade.
It may be possible if she wills it, depending on the soul. It is a rather expensive process. The magics and the reagents involved are.
I pull out the diamond.
That will most likely do. If you'll wait here, you do have. Do you have?
And I pull out a piece of them.
Perfect. Yes. I always appreciate the promptness of youth.
I do a lot of research.
Good. It's good you've come prepared. This way, please.
Wizard.
He leads you in back towards the back of the cathedral into a large ritual room. Inside there is an altar that in modern
What was
aesthetics
first?
it would probably look like a hospital bed almost. However, this is a stone slab with an incline, so it looks like someone could be not rest fully prone, but just at rest.
That's my check.
Over the top of it, there is a large statue, probably 10 feet tall, of a woman just kind of reaching two hands down over this altar. And other than that, the room is fairly stark. What seems to be the focus of the room is this statue and this altar. It is dimly lit by candlelight, so it is visible, and there is light coming in through a window from behind you that kind of shines directly onto the face of the statue and onto the altar proper. If you would please place the remains of your comrade, the remains of the deceased, on the altar.
Turn my pocket inside out and just kind of like blow off some lint.
Make sure there's no lint on there.
No, I have a piece that I had before.
It's not much.
Yeah.
He gets resurrected with like half his pants sticking out of his head because the lint was resurrected.
They'll keep you warm.
I will need the diamond. We need to powder it.
Of course.
Smash.
The high priest will be out shortly to perform the ritual. Please remain here. No.
Okay.
What do you ask?
You just follow him out of the room, and then that guy's like, ha! And he just runs.
You have a heart attack? You want to?
You want to?
So, he leaves, and you guys kind of wait for 5 or 10 minutes. And, like it starts to get a little bit uncomfortable. It's like, okay, just waiting here. There are no chairs.
Right?
Do I dare sit on the altar? Or is this meanwhile, this imposing figure of the goddess of death is just kind of looming above you like this. It's one of those like, this is creepy because there's nothing else here, and she's just kind of staring at me, and I'm feeling judged. It's just gonna get that sense about the room.
I sit there watching, like, knowing what I know about all this, and Pharasma and all that, and then thinking back that I just talked to Mooneye again, and forgot to talk to her about how long it then is.
Yes, you did.
The worst part is halfway through that, I was like, I gotta remember to do that before I leave, and then we
Go
just
back.
fucking left.
How does it feel for you guys?
Just speaking with the dead?
Not speaking with the dead, but just being in this room with nothing but an altar and a 10-foot statue of the goddess of death. What is that like for you guys?
Courier's countenance coins.
Creepy shit.
I'll see you soon.
He's just got this big bag and he's going. Ching, ching, ching.
The way Todd sees it, this is the god of the inevitable. My god is the one that makes it fun.
Many friends just like
What about Jeremiah?
What?
How's it feel?
In the room?
Yeah. You're
Purple.
standing with these new people with nothing else in the room except a stone altar and a 10-foot statue of the goddess of death.
Just somber.
Okay. Got it. So after
Like I need to pray so fucking hard.
along 10 minutes or so, you see a small figure kind of shuffling in with black robes, carrying a small dish.
Oh.
You see a tail kind of swishing back and forth.
That's not him.
And,
What kind of tail?
It's kind of fleshy. And as it kind of shuffles into the room, you see a couple of ears, like little round ears, and black fur coming to a pointed snout, and then a white, almost mask. It's very clearly a rat folk, but his fur pattern almost looks kind of like a half skull on the side of his face. And he's got a very prominent silver dagger around his neck. He comes to Charlie and I say, "Hi, so I hear we are going to be returning someone from Erasmus' embrace.
Yes.
Excellent. I hope it's a good person.
It is.
Great, even better.
Yes.
They do want to come back.
Yes.
Excellent.
We checked.
My name is Jasper.
Hi, Jasper.
So I have I had to get that out of my system. I have your diamond.
I love you!
So thank you.
Always nice to meet a fan.
Is there anything I should know before we get started?
You're awesome! I love you, Jasper! I wish I was a character for this! Oh my
I don't get to play him ever again, so we're doing this one. I love Jasper. He's one of my favorite characters.
fucking love Jasper.
So is there anything I should know beforehand?
I don't know. Is there anything specific you need to know, or
Is
or
he a fire-breathing dragon? Am I going to have to fight him when he comes back?
No, he's a dwarven barbarian.
I'll help.
So am I going to have to fight him when he gets back?
No, you won't.
Okay.
I'll help.
I was fine with the dwarven, the barbarian was a little...
He's a very honorable person.
Is he ordering?
No.
Okay.
Oh.
So is his first reaction going to be to rage out and try to punch me in the face?
No.
Okay.
I think he knows it's coming.
He'll probably, if anything, think it's glorious.
Okay. I look forward to this then. So, and he walks over to the altar and sees what you provided, and he's like, "That's it?
Well,
What happened?"
well, there's more of him, but I put a. I can't remember the name of the ointment. It's not
Just go with it.
It's like unguent preservation.
Yeah, unguent. Yeah.
Preparation force.
I put that on him. His actual, the rest of his body is at our keep, but he was pretty mangled.
Well, that will, if this is successful, it will crumble to dust.
Okay.
So hopefully it's not a load-bearing corpse.
No.
Ha!
I like it. I like it.
Love you, Jasper.
I love you too.
This is this awkward shit Todd's doing now. He's over there doing pet dance.
Jasper, so cool.
So Jasper takes the diamond powder and just starts sprinkling it in an ever-widening circle around the small quarter-sized biopsy that is Harsk. And he starts kind of chanting and performing a ritual. What are you doing? And he just kind of, luckily, he just kind of redraws.
Yeah, he just read that. He pulls out a tiny razor blade and just starts.
So, and he pulls out a handkerchief out of his robe and hands it to Jeremiah. Thank you.
What it would be like
This is a very detailed thing.
Yeah,
Not something you want to interrupt.
Diamond dust. I didn't know that's how you did
This
the
is
ritual.
great!
I didn't know that's how you did the ritual. Some other guy comes in. Hey, you're not supposed to be in here. Oh, fuck.
No, that's not. Watch this. One. Here he is.
Done.
So,
Jesus Christ.
as you guys watch
No, not that resurrection.
Yeah, as Jasper begins to chant and perform this ritual, it starts out rather solemn, and kind of flares up and calms back down. You can see the hands of the statue begin to glow faintly, either white or silver, and you can see the diamond dust kind of start to almost burn like a fuse, except it burns into nothing and leaves no mark. But it begins to like spark with white and silver, occasionally flecks of black and purple. And it just continues to burn down and burn down and burn down. Eventually, as it gets down to the remains of Harsk,
Sorry.
there's a weird tone in the air.
Your resurrection is complete.
Loading.
Reboot. Successful.
Buffering.
Loading.
Buffering.
Starfinder!
There is a blinding flash of white light that completely wipes out everyone's vision for a period of time that's hard to discern. Because in addition, there's just a very high-pitched noise that kind of dominates your hearing. There's the smell of burning something, but it's not flesh. It's not unpleasant. It's just a weird caustic burnt smell. And as your senses kind of come back, as your senses kind of come back into being, there is a very naked dwarf lying prone on the altar.
Is he conscious or is he still?
He is not yet conscious.
He's very clean, too.
So, for Harsk, as you're trying to get acclimated, there's like kind of a, okay, did that really happen? Was I just talking to people? Was that 5 minutes ago? Was it 1,000 years ago? I can't really, it's becoming a vague memory that's the most vibrant memory you've ever had. It's this constant twisted confusion of trying to figure out where you are and how to be. And it seems to get more confusing and more confusing. And you're bombarded with all sorts of stimuli that you just don't quite know what to make out. And until she's there, there's just a figure of a woman in front of you, and that's all that there is. Like everything else around you, any sort of stress or screaming or stimuli is just gone. It's just you and a void with her. She very gracefully, very calmly, just kind of glides up to you. It's hard to tell if she's even walking, but she just sort of slowly, gracefully, not threateningly, just kind of slides up towards you. Apparently, it is time for you to return. I look forward to seeing you again in a more peaceful state. Since you've been here, you have not belonged. I was wondering if it was something like this where you weren't done, or if it were something more concerning that I was going to have to dispatch.
That's
However,
He's Japanese!
luckily, it was the former.
He is important.
Your death was very
I believe it's time for you to return to your friends.
You're not dead.
Best of luck. We will meet again.
Thank
And
you.
as she reaches out, she reaches her hands out to you. Just kind of like a graceful, just
Just like
like this.
Just unzips a little bit. No? Oh.
Were you able to see that? Okay.
yeah, like this, right?
Yeah, exactly. What do you like to do?
Perfect.
High five that bitch in the face!
Alright, yeah, no, I follow her lead.
Okay. As soon as you like grasp her hands, you just it passes through and it just kind of she evaporates, just becomes mist, and it just kind of forms around you into a kind of a fog, and then that fog becomes a bright white light, and you can feel weight again for the first time, and it's impossible to tell how long, but you feel heavy again, but there's still that bright white light.
Oh man.
And you can feel like you can feel your digits and your appendages. You feel cold. You didn't feel cold or hot,
And clean.
but you feel you feel again, which is good. But there's still that bright white light. There's no sound. So it's quiet, just an unending, just white light. You guys are in the room. You can see Harsk's chest begin to rise and fall, just very calmly and peacefully. His eyes are open, but he doesn't seem. And you can see his fingers start to move a little bit, just like twitch a little bit. And the light from the window is shining directly into his face.
Harsh, can you hear me?
Is that him?
You hear?
Is it-
You hear me?
Mirrored.
Yeah. What? How do you feel?
As you turn, you see that. Oh wait, the light is breaking up once I turn my head. There's just something in.
You might want to
There's
sit.
something bad.
You might want to sit up out of the beam of light. I don't know why they put it right there, but
It's for dramatic effect.
it's really
Obviously, he multi-classed bard.
right.
Perfect.
Oh, luckily it was successful.
Yes.
So Harsk, it's welcome back to the material plane. I hope it's a long time before you meet our mistress again. But if you do need our services,
You're the one that brought me back?
yes, my name is Jasper.
Ah, thank you. Thank you, Jasper.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate it. I wasn't ready to be gone yet.
Clearly, if you were ready, it would not have worked. But luckily, you had a chance, and you have friends that care about you. So, welcome back. And
I don't know.
The only
most
difference
of
is
you,
now that you're
but-
resurrected, you have a dwarf voice. It's slightly different than before.
Aye.
so, welcome back, and try to do better.
Very nice.
And Jasper has a big smile on his face, and he just kind of turns and just kind of trots his little rat butt out of the room. Fuck.
That was great.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
I go over to Harsk as he's sitting there, and I just give him a big fucking hug.
Nice. You guys, the rest of you notice at some point during the ritual, someone has placed a small table with looks like a set of black robes in the room.
Jasper, can he use those? robes?
Yes.
So okay.
We don't like naked resurrection.
I just wanted to make
wandering
sure.
around town.
I just wanted to make
Yes,
sure.
by all means.
That's fine.
And
I go grab him and I kind of bring him over to Harsk.
Aye.
Hi. Who are you?
I'm
Who are you?
Who is everybody?
Who am I?
Beard, what's going on here?
I'm naked in front of all these strangers.
Hello, ladies, men.
Some things have changed. I'll have to catch you up on some stuff.
I'm Tefra.
This is I'm Tefra.
You're not Tefra.
No. Denied.
You're not
You
that
told me
one.
to say that.
I didn't. I'll explain quickly. This is Todd, and this is Krieger, and this is Jeremiah, and they've been helping me out. Hound is still alive. He's okay. He's at the keep.
Okay.
He's with our group. He's trying to fix the keep and do more stuff there. But yeah, unfortunately, Tefra is gone.
How now has artillery?
Well, shit.
Yeah.
I would have played
Pressing
with him. I would have grabbed him if I knew what was going on.
Right. Well, and maybe we'll walk down that road potentially if we can. But for now, let's get you clothed. Let's get you
I appreciate that.
some gear, maybe something make you feel a little more comfortable.
It is a little cold, but
Yeah.
Mirda's given everybody 2,000 gold. I don't know if you get it.
damn 2,000 gold.
we'll
Does he get a cut from slaying the dragon?
we'll
He got many cuts from slaying.
yeah,
the
you got
dragon.
many cuts from
You got smeared from slaying
Well,
dragon.
Yeah, right.
big one.
Uh,
Scout chimes in. I'm the one that slayed the dragon.
He was so intimate to that dragon fight, he was pap smeared.
Nice. So yeah, let's do that and then get you some gear, at least for the time being, and then we'll work out next steps.
You can use my spare sword. Maybe.
Oh,
So,
alright, cool, thanks.
next.
We have the sword.
Mechanically, he can't.
We have the sword in the keep.
We do.
Oh fuck.
Can he use the thorn?
Yep.
A barbarian?
One hit.
Barbarians are
One hit
proficient.
sword? Oh yeah.
He can if he wants.
Fucking everybody can.
Right, we did.
Almost.
Oh, that's right. So maybe we should make a trip to the keep next.
So,
Maybe we should finish up.
at this point, it's definitely evening.
Thanks.
Unless, right, you're exhausted. Unless there is something else, you guys are going to head back to the inn.
Yes.
I just want to make sure there was nothing else pressing.
No.
So,
Actually, how much time do we have? This is more just me. If we're all gonna go back to the inn, I'm gonna what time is it?
it's like evening, it's like 5 or 6.
5 or 6. Okay. So would I potentially have about 2 hours to attempt to create a scroll?
You kind of like at night or during the course of the evening.
Right. Yeah. That's what I'm.
You can
Sure.
do up to 8 hours of crafting a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you have plenty, you have all evening to do that kind of stuff.
Okay. I'm just.
And you can do that while we continue doing the inn stuff.
So, Krieger and I have been for the past couple of days talking about tattoos.
Sure.
Because, someone keeps talking about my sick gains. And how they're.
I was gonna
And
say.
how they're.
I'm not talking about your sick gains, bro.
And
I'm
how
talking
they're-
about the lack
If you need to get
thereof.
some instruction
how
supplies,
they're more sickly than
It
sick.
must be on a
Nick,
cut face.
if you need to get some instruction supplies, go ahead.
Well, here's the thing. He and I have been talking about tattoos and the benefits thereof.
Okay.
I'm converting them.
I'm saying we can do all the discussing stuff at the end.
Yeah.
But if you need to get supplies, you can do that otherwise.
I was going. You need to find out that my tattoos are magic.
I was going to at the end, you fucker.
All right, just pointed it out.
I know.
Can
Brady, I've been planning
love
I've
tonight?
been planning all night to ask you once we get settled down. Fireside chat, first fucking question.
All right.
Just
and
before we leave town.
before we head back to the inn, Hars, do you wanna? I mean, do you feel naked without a weapon of some kind, or?
I'm not used to not having. I don't even know what happened to my clothes.
All of
You have a black robe now.
Yeah.
I got you.
Do you
Yeah.
still have your
I-
character sheet?
Got a robe.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
I asked him yesterday.
Do what?
His priorities are in line.
I
Nice.
So, important note. Hearst currently has 1 negative level.
Okay.
From being resurrected.
Good to know.
Harsh.
6 or no?
What level are you right now?
What was he? 5.
So don't change it to 4 or whatever it was. Don't change the level. But you have a negative level, so put a note on there, and we can talk about what that means.
Okay.
Basically, it means you're still level 4, but everything stat-wise acts like you're level 3,
5.
Oh.
5 to 4.
or 5 to 4, or 4 to 3,
Oh,
whatever. it is.
interesting. Okay.
Buddy.
Perfect.
Buddy. I
What's up, Todd?
I like it.
I like it a lot.
I understand the feeling of nakedness when you're being, when you don't have a weapon. I won't give you my prayer sword, but I will loan you my primary sword so you have something. Just
No.
try not to hit someone with it on accident.
Well, I was gonna take him shopping.
Wait.
I mean, that works too.
Don't. So sword, but don't hit anyone.
Look,
with it?
do you,
Wasn't this the guy who said no shopping montage?
look, do you want to just hold on to it until you get your own sword and you can get back?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you
Sure.
have to save some money?
I pull a
You
9-foot
can
great
take a
sword out of my shoulder and hand it
Like,
to you.
you have enough basic gear amongst you to kind of
Give
accommodate
him. Okay.
and his gear is still back.
Right. That's mainly. I just wanted to give him like.
Try not to drag it on the ground.
He has travel
This is
gear.
what it is.
Okay.
Just try not to drag
Go
it.
go.
Between Mortimer and you guys
Right.
and Pontius and the cart, you have enough Harsk starter gear.
Perfect. All right.
Our story set.
Don't drag it. Don't accidentally hit someone in the face with it.
We're back at the end.
Don't do anything.
So,
Yeah.
with
I
it.
immediately buy food. and give it to Pontius.
Nice.
Nice.
Hey, buddies, how's it going?
Hi.
It seems like forever since we talked.
I go Pontius. 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 Look
Pontius.
who it is.
Pontius is talking horse. Holy shit, it's horse!
Pontius!
How's it going, buddy? I thought you died. Didn't you
I
die?
did.
I,
I
no,
don't know how long. How long has it been?
I distinctly remember you being kind of smeared all over the place.
Pontius, dude.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, I'm having a huge existential crisis right now.
Oh. But I'm glad you're back. You got better, that's good.
I got better.
It's been like a month, 2 months? A
One
month?
hell of a band
How
aid.
long has it been?
A month and a half.
It's been like a month and a half.
Ow.
I'm terrible about time. I'm just a horse. There's totally a talking horse. Just sticking his head in the window of the drowning quarters.
Is that what it is? He sticks his head in the window.
Oh yeah, Mr. Redstone.
Yeah.
He's like,
He's not actually allowed in.
Hey, Hars. Hars? You got any biscuits?
So,
You got any biscuits?
I don't. I think they're on my body.
It's an inn. Can you order some biscuits?
I don't have any gold.
Weird.
I'll order you biscuits.
Thank you.
I'll give some gold to Hars so he can order you
Meanwhile,
Like I said, Charlie.
Meanwhile, it's the fat human again who caught the centaur before, and he's like, "There's a talking horse."
Yes.
You guys have a talking horse?
Yes.
You're like, is it like a sideshow thing?
No.
Oh, just a talking horse?
Well, I mean, you really got to question whether he's a talking horse or if he can still talk after he became a horse.
His mind is visibly blown.
Is he smoking out of his beard? Yeah, he was confused.
He's merely a disabled person.
Biscuit, I met him.
You're discriminating against him, not letting him sleep here.
Discriminating against the Cursalian challenged.
Hey, that's me.
Can we make
Hey, that's me.
your magic?
I never really did it.
I resemble that remark.
I like my
That's
curse,
southern
thank you.
This is northern magic. That's southern magic.
I mean, that's
So what are we doing? We got horseback.
We have horseback.
That's good news.
And I think we're gonna make a trip to the keep, and
Ooh.
then we'll head to. We'll talk about what we're gonna do next.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna enjoy this basket of biscuits that's now in front of me.
Okay.
I scratch Pontius behind the ears.
He leans his head, but he does not leave the biscuits.
That's totally fine.
So, you guys are in the cozy inn. Sirenscape.
Sorry. What? You guys don't want to be in
The creepy temple?
the
No.
creepy temple anymore? Sorry.
So, you guys have all the food at your disposal that you want.
Lots of meat.
Lots of meat, lots of biscuits for Pontius.
Only meat.
So, well, we're just sitting here. So Krieger,
Yes.
you wanted the take off my furs and just kind of
Ooh, that one.
lift up my shirt.
Whoa,
And,
whoa.
So there's
I want that nipple! In my mouth!
you know the Celtic
Blows on it.
with like the knots in it. There's just stripes going down, like suspenders, but not suspenders, and like going around the sides. So you wanted this one.
Yeah, does it come in my size?
It's that one.
Maybe later.
I came.
Get out of here! Sweep the table!
Matt, give yourself 100 experience.
Well, yes. You just leveled.
And then pull off the gloves, and I've got basically plate gauntlets tattooed on my hands. And you wanted these ones, which is that one.
Nice.
Yeah?
Okay.
You wanted those too?
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna do a couple things. I point to icicles tattooed all around my neck. Yeah, I'm gonna finish this one.
Okay.
That was gonna be nice. And then there's
Ow.
right in the
Ow.
center of my chest is a bull's head. Well, I'm all gonna finish this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
You start growing out hard.
Right? It was like,
What's the story?
Tribal tradition. Sorry, you're southern.
That's what we talk.
It's just bicep curl.
Is
You
there, a
find,
bar-
you find a nearby bench.
is there a barmaid that can?
No, it is being used.
He's still curling it.
So, there's
The fat dwarven woman.
like the blue ice clan studied the hill giants that lived in the glaciers when we were chased out of the taiga, and we learned a lot from them. How to use weapons as big as these. You're welcome for that. Give it back in one piece, please. Don't drag it.
We're hitting everyone with it. No, it's okay.
Brother, but
And we learned how to use their weapons. We learned how to survive in the ice. We also learned some of their ancient survival techniques, such as how to imbue the symbols of Gorham to help strengthen you in battle and to survive on the fucking ice. Some of us went a little bit too far and went kind of crazy, and they moved to the white ice. We've kind of bickered since then. They're kind of primitive assholes, and we're cultured.
cool story, bro.
You know how it goes. And normally, your first tattoo is like a rite of manhood, and it's done by a lot of people. And whatever camp you're in, it's kind of like a family thing. But yeah, since he just had his birthday, and we're almost kinsmen. Birthday presents. Yeah.
There's like a 2-foot difference from them being kids.
You know what? I don't have to give you the other one, and I can just be 12.5 feet tall. Then I'll be taller.
Krieger's just like 6 pounds of dick. That's all I gotta say.
Mine's a two-handed weapon.
The one I'm not
So
saying
those tattoos
would make me 14 feet
Yeah.
tall.
Well, okay. So
And
you may notice the stag skull.
weight
part of
that's
it.
played back.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's
I'm 480
but
pounds.
all of these are traditional, mind you.
Yeah.
That lets you stay vigilant through the night.
Oh shit! I stepped on horse.
You don't want to use it all the time because it's just exhausting.
Whoa.
But it lets you stay vigilant through the night, and as long as you don't get jumped by a Wendigo, then you can keep watch over those who need to sleep. And they're bull's head makes you strong like bull. Kind of self-explanatory. Gorham's children tend to be mechanical bulls. Don't ride them with a bandana for a shirt. It's not good.
I'm not even kind of paying attention to your story.
That's fine.
I'm literally like scribbling in my book.
I put my foot up on the table, and there's a hoof tattooed around my ankle. So this one makes you move faster. Again, Gorham's children. Point at my back, there's a giant mountain tattooed. Just icicles, ice head, yeah. They all have a purpose. They all have a symbol. It's all Gorhamite.
They're wearing your face too.
Yeah, it's a stag skull.
At this point, I look up from my book and I go, "So those are pretty cool. Those make you stronger and better."
Yeah.
Because you weren't before.
Oh, God.
Right, I mean, I
Todd has a mild existential crisis.
so those are the things you use to be better
Maybe
because you weren't
Let me
able to
ask
do
you
those
Krieger
things.
spits his hand up.
Let me ask you something, Mird.
Hmm?
What's the longest you've ever gone without eating?
I don't know.
What's the longest you've ever gone without sleeping?
I don't know.
What's the longest you've ever gone living on the ice?
I don't know.
How many times have you survived raids by Wendigos?
I don't know.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. It makes you stronger.
No, it's just because I don't know. There's a
Yes,
lot of
sir.
my history I don't know.
And I remember all of mine.
You should tell us about it.
My memory is obviously more,
Complete, obviously.
Yeah. Why don't you like me? You know.
You remind me of a guy who used to bug me about crowns. No.
There are tattoos that are more priestly types.
Feminine.
I mean no disrespect. I was just kidding. I actually am very interested
I was
in that
gonna
type
say,
of magic.
each caste tends to have their own tendencies as far as the ritual tattoos go, but as the tattooist of the clan, you become familiar with all of them. There are some that lean towards the more clerical type, the more less hitty with swordy type. I don't know what you guys would call it. We call them doctors. But if you decide to join the ranks of the Inks and pay for it and don't be a dick, then I'd be willing to.
I don't know if I could hit all of those things.
We'll do a
But-
sliding scale.
I do have an idea to help you potentially.
I don't like where this is going.
You might. How often do you use scrolls?
A what?
Scroll. It's like a scroll.
Like writing things down.
Yes.
Like
But a magical
scroll.
one that holds a spell in it.
As of to date, none.
Perfect. I can make magical scrolls. I can imbue scrolls with spells in them.
What's the point of writing them down on paper when you can write them down on you?
Well, you can do that, but like certain spells, you can only use so many times, right?
I mean,
In a matter of day, you
This
only
one-
have so much magical ability in one day,
this
correct?
one you only need to use once a day. This one's always on. This one's always on. Oh, you see this one? It's just inkwells spilling ink that form more inkwells around the finger. It's like this one. That was my graduation present.
I thought you were on this one.
This one.
You see this one?
The inky one. And only people that show great skill in actual tattooing get this one.
What's the tattoo on your middle finger for? That makes it vibrate.
It says mirrored,
mm-hmm.
just in northern.
Something about a crown.
Yeah. We'll talk more later, but I think I can help you.
Okay. I'd be more than willing to help you if you stop being there.
Important question for Beard to ask.
Never gonna happen.
Can Todd read?
I never learned to read.
Really? After that interaction, I'm gonna then ask him if he can read. Actually, yeah, fuck it. Can you read?
Are you a dick?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
I love all of Nick's characters and how they interact with me.
I fucking tried so hard to be friends with everybody with this guy. Oh!
I'm accustomed to a certain type of living now in the game.
I feel like the two of us have been getting better. Yeah. Because he's making up for it.
You're welcome. Talk about the rage. You can't do that. I'm so angry. You can take it.
Yeah, if you want to know more about the tattoo, I would more than that. I have them all written down, what they do and what they look like. So if you want to know, I felt like I was dragging it. But if you want to know the details, I'm more than happy to share.
No, it was super compelling.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
I might walk on.
PvP
Would I be worthy of a tattoo?
Oh,
Can you afford it?
I just met you. I like the cat though. The cat's cool.
Wait, so what happened? What did
I
happen
can
to
tattoo
Benedict?
your cat.
Benedict?
Yeah.
Benedict went with Finnick.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Both Benedict and Finnick are up at Lake finding druids.
Does
Okay.
Harsh have any questions for the group? I mean, you
Yeah.
guys are all just kind of like chilling and eating around the fire. Like, you
Man, a lot of like
questions
houses,
or getting to know each other kind of stuff.
A lot of it's like probably mostly conversing with Mirror, but talking about like because I recall from before we were talking about recollections of like being like super old but not remembering anything, and like getting in a like more so like existential conversation with like I was gone and dead, and I was floating around without a purpose. And now I'm back, and like, what is that like for you, Mirror? To have like to not understand, like, be at a spot where you don't understand time or it gets away from you, and now you're just back.
I don't know because I don't remember anything from before. I
How
only
was it when you came to?
well, I mean, it was just blank. I just had the book. I had my spell book, and that was it. I was just in a forest under like a tree. I mean, it would almost be something like if you had taken a nap under a tree one day and then woke up and literally there was nothing from before. I mean, outside of like mechanically, like I could speak and understood, you know, writing and reading and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
outside of that, it was just nothing. So,
Oh, Harsk.
Sup, Todd?
Have you ever fought a Wendigo?
Not recently.
Okay, carry on.
So that's a yes.
but yeah, and then it was just 10 years of walking around essentially, trying to piece things together and figure out how to read the stuff in my spell book. That was about it.
That just like feeling of nothingness is tripping me out, man.
Yeah, you
There
kind
was so much I hadn't gotten to yet.
you kind of
and
get
I almost lost it all.
right. You kind of get used to it though. What I usually try to think about, like it, I try to look at it in the idea of do you remember the time like before you were born?
No.
Yeah, it's like that.
All right.
Right? Like, you know, there was a time you didn't exist and then you existed, but you don't know what that time was. That's kind of what I try to focus on, but yeah.
All
You know,
right.
most of my brooding time is kind of that. It's kind of when it creeps up, but
Okay.
yeah. Yeah.
And the brooding helps. The brooding helps.
Well, brooding happens when I'm kind of stuck and I can't get out of that thought. So it's usually better when I'm not brooding, but you know, you get used to it. You cope in ways, whatever.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I appreciate it. I'm gonna be coming back to you more.
No, that's fine. I imagine it's very jarring. There's some stuff that has definitely happened since you've been gone, and by the way, we ate the fuck out of that dragon that you.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Like we
dragon.
killed the dragon. Hound got the final shot after he saw what happened to you. He fucking just shot the thing and it died.
He's always been a good friend.
Yeah, and then basically we started carving it up and we ate the dragon.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, like we were all just like fuck you, dragon. We're gonna eat you now.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
It was good.
And the goblins okay?
Yeah, the goblins are still around. Except for Fang.
Oh. Oh, sad.
Fang died.
Wasn't that Hound's favorite one?
Yeah. Yeah. That was the little archer one that was hanging out with Hound, but he died.
Oh shit.
Yeah. The goblins had like a little funeral for him too. It was kind of cool.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Good for them. Good.
But yeah, and everybody else is still back at the keep. The crew we hired are still there.
All right.
Yeah.
Good.
As
All
far
of
as
them
you
made
know.
it out.
Yeah.
All right.
So-
Good. Good. Make sure to get back.
Yeah. We also, well, I have more story about the mountain and what happened with all that. We actually ran into T-Zon in there,
Oh.
and yeah, it seemed like T-Zon went back for his sword alone or without us.
Of course he did.
Unfortunately, that didn't work out for him. He became kind of like a mindless tool.
Great.
So we had to kill him while we were there.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Good.
Yeah.
Thing is,
So.
that is
That's what he
something
gets, I
Chris would have done. I go in alone.
But yeah, we did take care of the mountain, the giant mimic. It fell down, kind of created this big magical weird area.
That's the third level spot.
So
it's all
that's a thing that's near our keep now. But yeah, so stuff like that.
Well, shit, man, it's like the dragon was just the beginning of all that.
Yeah. So
All right.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
and we have another dragon, potentially a black dragon, we're trying to track down. But whoa, more details.
It's gonna freak me. I don't know if I can take it on right now.
Yeah. No. Let's not do that. Let's get you back up to shape. But,
Little PTSD there.
right? I'm just happy you're back, man.
Yeah, me too. Thanks for bringing me back.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So,
Alright.
over the course of the evening, a couple things come to light. The job that Jeremiah was hired for seems to have been accomplished.
Yeah.
So now it's up to you to figure out what's up next.
Get the fuck out. No.
It seems like the next. Well,
I'll get him and take him for 8,000 gold.
Let's kill him. Take all the gold.
He actually has 2,000 gold and a really cool set of new glasses.
Oh, that's right. You got glasses.
That's the main pressing issue meta-wise. But there's also what are we doing from here? Like, as a group? Is it a group? Or...
So you gotta go kill
You guys
those
said you
fuckers
had
in
a
the
keep in a different town,
Yeah, I have a keep.
and that's where you guys are planning to head next?
That's where we're gonna go next, yeah, for Harsh's sake. And maybe get some rest, get some work done. I have a few projects that I think would behoove us to get done before we head out on our next destination, which is ultimately going to be Minderhall. So yeah. What do you got going on?
I finished business in this town. I'm looking to move on. I'm searching for someone. They don't seem to be here. Any chance I can travel with you guys?
Yeah, I mean you seem
Once you use it,
fairly capable of everything. It's nice to not have to fight the urges of constant
I got 7
battle
of these scrolls.
with somebody. You're more than welcome to tag along. I don't mind it at all.
When are we leaving?
Right after we beat the shit out of Bruce.
We're not beating the shit out of Bruce.
Just off the thought of that.
So, well, and that comes up to another question for you guys.
Why did you do that?
Do what?
Oh.
We were interrogating him.
That's not what you do! It worked!
What
did I
I miss?
He credit carded Bruce with the hot knife.
I'm not sure. You
Oh, that's right. He wasn't in the room.
outside. Krieger took a hot knife and made Bruce's 2 butt cheeks into one.
It's a bit of an exaggeration, but yeah.
What the?
It worked.
There's better ways to do it. There's waterboarding, there's pulling teeth.
This was
everything else.
I know. I've seen.
You could have raped him,
There are
but
things-
instead,
There are things that may move you to chaotic way slower.
I assure you, this is the fastest one.
I know.
move you to chaotic way slower, like Black Friday.
Waterboarding's not torture. It's fun,
It's like a day spa. Get your face all nice and washed.
especially when you're sick.
Why? What, Beard, back me up on this.
Yeah.
It's fastest way. Well, did you get information you wanted?
Krieger, though, seriously, we can't be doing stuff like that all the time.
You didn't. I did.
Right, but you can't do that.
I did.
There's a certain amount of etiquette, even with your enemy. It was extreme to start there. Next time.
We started with beating him up.
All I'm asking is next time.
It was working.
Let's build.
It was working. He was telling us things.
Let's just build up to that.
How many
next time.
interrogations have you been?
I don't know.
You
What was the
How many
question?
interrogations have you been?
Feel like you guys aren't getting the concept that I don't know.
Hang on.
Half a dozen?
Okay, you know. That knife works.
No, that's never come up. That has never come up. That has never come up.
I like that we are in an inn right now arguing about how to torture
Hold on,
people.
hold on. Krieger?
Has this happened to you?
Krieger, are you okay?
Not specifically to me. I've seen it happen.
When was the last time you...
That's where I got the idea.
That's where I got the idea. The old bastards did it all the time.
That is fucked up. What
Old
masters?
masters. What old masters?
The people that owned us.
Own you.
Yes. Do you not know anything of half giants or giants?
No. I know things about ice giants.
We were slaves.
My tear crushes the teeth.
Right, yeah, the tear falls.
Flexes his
Put
tear.
a dent in the table.
Charlie.
No. He flexes and the tear goes.
Clever with the tear.
Get back in there.
Get back in there, tear.
What? First, how? Wait. You were... How? Why didn't you just bench press your way out? Is that what you did? That's what you did. Yeah.
There are so many more things now that make sense with you.
But can we not do that?
I try not to.
Is there?
No, there is no try. Only do.
Krieger, is there any? Is there anything? Is there anybody after you?
No.
Is there anybody
He
here?
died.
Okay, that's what I want.
Granted my freedom right before.
I would. He granted you your freedom.
Yes.
Oh.
Greatest pit fight
Oh.
ever.
Good for you, Krieger.
And another piece of
Krieger,
the puzzle.
freedom.
That makes sense.
Alright.
That makes
I
sense.
got these.
He just starts flexing and it's like, okay.
But I'm proficient in firearms.
Except he's still wearing his armor, so he's
Right, I was gonna say.
But you don't see anything
Krieger, we
under
can't-
all the plates.
Oh no, you do.
No, you do. It bends.
Flexes.
That does remind me. You'll have to take off your armor for the tattoo. Okay. Can you shower first?
Yes. Yes.
Prestidigitation.
just stop halfway through. Beard, hit him again.
Yeah.
He's not Harsk.
Yeah, right?
Oh,
Krieger showers.
with his armor on. And then he polishes it so it doesn't rust.
So, as the night begins to draw to a close, the party seems bolstered, in good spirits. Their friend is back. They have a better
Right.
sense of who people are.
How did you become a friendly lake? I mean, how did you?
How did I become me?
Yeah.
Well, I was just saying. I woke up one day.
I love that everyone from the north for you is yeah.
Yeah.
Every single character you have from the north is yeah.
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 And
Rude. Yeah.
so those are my two northern things.
Sure. No,
Yeah.
it adds a lot.
Rude.
It adds a lot.
I woke up 10 years ago.
And just
I had a spell book.
found a magic key.
Yeah. That's fairly recent, actually.
That's in the last few months.
Some people have all the luck.
Well, I mean, we found it,
Some guys
but
have all the gains.
we had to.
Oh.
Oh!
I'm gonna go tattoo myself with bravery.
He just makes a new tattoo called Gains.
No effect, but it makes me bulker.
Right? It's all creatine. There's nothing.
Oh, waterways.
I woke up
Oh, Charlie.
with no memory. All I had was a spell book with a small ripped piece of
She's friendly, I
paper.
promise.
And I open my spell book and I show him that and the pieces that I have, all of it. And I tell him that it's this one, which was just the chunk that has the word mirrored on it.
Nothing? I'm just checking.
As far as recognizing it?
Yeah. It's only because he pointed it out. No one laughed before.
Oh god, that look. Matt's like,
I'm just double checking.
No, it's do I want to be a dick?
Obviously,
Yes.
yes. The question is, will you?
Yeah.
Mirrored and Joe will say yes.
So,
Is it being a dick to Joe or to me? Absolutely yes.
so
Joe and me are to prove this.
Yeah.
Let me try.
there is
Did I eat one once?
no. We can't. You know that the seers,
Yeah.
of the Blue Ice tribe. It's not you, right?
No, the white ice is the other guy.
White Ice tribe. Then their seers have they seem to worship a thing. It's the holy word.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't ever seen it.
Yeah, but there's like legends of it.
There's legends that they worship that these seers gain their visions while either trying to translate or communing with this divine word that was was bestowed upon them on a bloodied hide.
How do I connect that with this?
This page is made of vellum, which is goat hide.
Oh, okay.
Oh, good
I
job,
was
Charlie.
missing
11.
I was missing the bridge.
Good job, Charlie.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
book! I know a story of a book.
That
Those fuckers worship it.
no, this red page he shows you.
Yeah.
You haven't seen the White Ice Tribe's sacred text, but it is on a bloody hide. That this is a very red sheet of vellum. It may not be covered in blood, but it's very much in that ilk.
Here, I have a very specific question for you, and you can be honest.
Okay.
I'm rolling this up for
Do it.
beforehand.
Do it.
Oh, yeah. Plot dice. Fuck yeah.
Gotta love plot dice.
20!
Nice.
Do you come from the White Ice Tribe?
Don't know.
I come from a land down under.
Tell me about your women.
I just do this.
How far north have you gone?
Recently?
Wait, Mird's like 6 foot, isn't he?
Yeah.
Are you bulky? Or are you like
No, I'm like normal. I'm just average.
normal?
He's bulky when he wears his heavy coat.
Let's see. They're all there.
Take the government door.
Anything to get away from this little black man?
Matt, I can't remember the this area.
Land.
No, not above lake.
Oh, but
I don't want to step on it. I'm sure you wouldn't feel it, but still, I would.
the forest?
Yeah. What's it for? I can't remember. I wrote it down somewhere.
Yeah. Let me think of, no, this is west of that.
Okay.
That was
Orestia.
Orestia. Thank you. That's
Um,
Orestia is named for Erastil,
Right.
so Orestia. I found just as much.
Orestia is as far north as I've ever gone.
You know Orestia. You know that the Southerners call it Orestia. You just call it the Southern Forests, the Southern Wilds.
Okay.
That's where I woke up.
You're.
Nick, I would like a nature knowledge local. Sorry.
Love the roll. Fine there.
Knowledge nature or knowledge local? Mazel tov, it's a 10. No, 9.
Go ahead and do your thing.
Stupid DM making me roll shit.
Sorry.
Trying to do something.
I'm sorry to interrupt the flow.
You're big enough, you might actually descend from the White Ice Tribe. They have writings like that.
They do.
Rumor has it.
That's interesting.
We must fight. Go.
To run away.
Well, maybe we'll head up there.
We should get something to kill Wendigos first.
Yes. That's right. We need to go find Nestor.
I mean, so people that live on the ice have gotten pretty good at traveling through the Wendigo woods most of the time. It's not guaranteed, but there are things you can do to improve your chances. But it'd be nice to be able to defend ourselves.
Yeah.
Shooting lasers might help.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Alright.
Just make sure you prepare that one next time.
We're gonna work on it.
Yeah.
And we're gonna superpower ours.
What's a laser?
Fuck yeah. What?
What's a laser?
It's like
Good question.
fire.
It's like highly concentrated fire in some sort of beam.
Like
Yeah.
kind of like a scorching ray.
If anyone knows lasers, it's me.
Yeah.
I knew it
Did
upstairs
did
Hello.
either of you
to work.
look? You got hired. His thing.
I heard you
Look,
invited him to the group.
I know you ran away, but that's okay. It's okay to run away as long as you come back to the fight. Cowardice is punishable by death, but tactical retreat can be a sound strategy.
I'm scouting our flanks.
While he's
You
doing this,
came
I
back.
lean over and go,
You came back, and that, in and of itself, is a mark of true bravery. So if there's anything that I can do, as long as you can, like, I know what to buy. I don't have the money for you. So if you're willing to pay for it, I'll give you a mark of bravery.
when he tells him it's like, and you came back, which is great. I go,
What'd you say?
ew.
Huh?
Because I dispelled it.
Dispel what?
Yeah, I spelled it.
Yeah, I told him it's like you ran away because it was an enchantment. You were cursed, and you
No
came
one
back. You came back because I dispelled that.
Gotcha.
So if either of you want, as long as there's the time and the money.
So I know this spell. I'll have to research it again. I know this spell normally, sometimes. That allows
Make
I
water.
Prestidigitation.
Ah.
I cast it multiple times a day, like you.
Doesn't even take a spell slot.
Accident. More if I
It makes me feel more effective.
Oh, kind of like this one.
Very similar to that one. It's called Gravity Gun?
Yeah, some of the farther reaching scouts get that one.
That's the ball bastard.
It'll cost you however much I wrote down on your board deck.
It cost me 4,000 gold, which I.
Would you like to give me the gold for yours as well as we had discussed?
He doesn't actually do it.
Why don't
He
you
just writes some random shit and just keeps on the goal.
why don't you just give it to me?
It's Chinese for soup.
Right? It says orange chicken.
Yeah, but I go with that. So, can 24,000 gold get me that sword? Did you need one?
No.
Damn it. I guess I'll have to do the tactics.
If you sell the heat, maybe.
Okay.
I'm not selling it.
What a sense motive as I start here.
This
How
So,
so?
for some reason the party is
Right.
following Todd.
No, I have the key.
I'm the fucking Pope now! Okay, so how long did I? Yours is 4K?
Now we're back to that again.
4K 2 days.
We have to eliminate the lycanthropes.
Matt,
You think we
mechanically.
should say help with the lycanthrope?
You can't just
Wait. I have to double check everybody.
It's the right thing to do.
We're not gonna just leave them here.
So it's gonna
Go
take
settle
several,
this.
it's gonna take
Tomorrow we'll
several
be
days for you to actually get all this doing done.
With gravity bow,
Do you
his
just want to
and
fight
mine.
something?
you can
Or you
do
just want more money?
double the progress.
Both.
By 5.
No, me.
Taking 10 gets me exactly the DC to hustle every single one of these tattoos, so it'll take a grand total of 8 hours a day for 12 days.
Okay.
What the
So-
shit?
1,000 GP
That's
moves
a lot
of
of
progress every day.
8 hours
He's
a day.
getting 10K, I'm getting 10K, he's getting 4K.
Maybe
So-
we should head back to the keep before we do that.
So, or during.
Or during.
It takes 12 days to get back to the keep.
Oh shit, that's right. I keep.
No, it's 12 days away.
I know we're in Lamplight, but I keep thinking of Bryn.
Yep, nope.
It's like no.
You're
Ours.
Alright.
Ours. Get Mirrored to pay for some tattoos.
Them tattoos.
So
Yeah, magic
Is that-
tattoos.
as it's a bit too late in the evening to actually go and buy supplies right now.
Yeah, but make it shopping.
Got it. So as the evening kind of begins to draw down a little bit, bonds have been formed, things have been kind of brought up. Old friends are back. Pontius leans his head and says, "Hey guys, I don't want to alarm anybody, but there's a very large cat, and I think it's going to attack me at any given second.
That's a pussy. Don't worry about it.
And that's what we're gonna call it this week.
Nice. Thanks.
Patrick, go have fun with the lady person who actually gives a shit about you and things.
Yeah, 'cause we don't.
Yeah. Well, Craig does, but Craig was smart.
Just mute your mic if you get a blowjob during game.
Or not.
Oh, okay.
I'm very lonely.